your finances?
Zero,
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 zero, zero, zero.
But you got a bank account open, right?
I don't. I used to, years ago, but I closed it out. Now with that, now you have to keep it open. I never carried over a cash balance.
I closed mine, but I
Yeah,
lent the money to it and then I dissolved it.
yeah,
I didn't
always,
see the bank sending me paperwork every month. It's a waste of money.
yeah, I had one the first year that I ran,
Yeah.
and then I closed it out, because at that point, the state, you didn't carry them over. Now they want you to carry them over. So they want you to fill out the
Well, I
paperwork.
dissolved mine.
Let's all stand for the pledge.
Oh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we're going to do a little swap-a-roo on the agenda here this morning because the Highway Garage has an appointment for a bridge. So Jason, if you wouldn't mind coming up now. Thanks for being patient.
Patriots boring today on Bridge 9, Caveville Bridge. They're starting today due to the boring. Sieg's going to be done by the 17th with appraisals and everything for Bridge 9. So as soon as that paperwork comes through, I'll get it to you.
What is that? What's gonna be done? You gotta slow down for me. I can't write that fast.
Look. Patriots boring today for Bridge 9.
I got that.
Okay. Rob Sieg to be done 17th. Yep, for surveying. The 17 Freightliner I mentioned last time, it's actually an 07. It's not a 17. That's why it's not getting fixed. But the grader is getting fixed. It's scheduled to be fixed that we talked about last time.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
That's fine. Yeah,
You're 10 years older than, do we
Right.
have many more of them around?
One more. And it's
Okay.
still in use, but they put a lot of money in it years ago before I even took it over. So. O'Mara is starting today. They have a crew in the north and one in the south for CCMG. So they're paving both areas.
I guess last time we did some paving in the Morris area, I had some people like, wish someone would have known or anything like that. Is there anything that we can maybe put on Facebook that these such and such roads are being paved?
Yeah, I'll get the list.
Because I think the last time a school bus had to wait or a kid had to walk or something
Okay.
just because they couldn't get through, and I caught some flack about people not knowing what was going on, so maybe just say, hey, in the next coming weeks, have it put on
Okay.
your Facebook page or something that
Certain
these
area.
roads will
That'll work.
try to at
break
least
it
do
down.
some
I'll tell.
heads-up plans on that. And then be ready for having to throw gravel next to them.
Yeah. Mud Pike Bridge, which a couple of you are aware, we had the mud wall collapse last week. The road's still shut down. I'm meeting with the engineers this morning to discuss the pilings that's rotted from the bottom of the bridge. So I'm not sure where this is going yet, but it's going to get fixed, but it's probably going to be expensive. So we have the money in the bridge to fix it. It just may take some time.
Yeah.
I'll send you text after a while, update you guys on what's going on.
Okay. Thanks, Jason.
You're meeting with them after this meeting, that's
I'm
what?
going straight there.
Okay.
Last is 600 East Mud Road. Earl's not here. He called me Friday about the signage. We put new signs up, cross at your own risk. County maintenance ends here, they're like this big. I mean, actually Lee's the one that started that whole thing. That's all right. We got it fixed.
Are you familiar with any of that, Roger?
No, I heard him talking about
Okay,
it.
so Mud Road, we call Mud Road over in our area 650 East, there,
600 or 650?
600.
600.
That's 600. 600.
In our area, over in Summit area, it's always been called Mud Road. It's basically a water crossing that's gravel. There's a landowner that owns from 48 to that, and that landowner, there was an agreement made by the commissioners when Chris and Kendall were here. They always wanted that road chip and sealed. Like it was very common that they would call and ask us. So the commissioners at that time chip and sealed from 48 to their driveway, and we quit maintaining the road from their driveway up and through the water, up a hill. That was a part of the agreement, like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna go out of our way to do the chip and seal. And the homeowners agreed to it. Well, now that it's not being maintained, people are driving across this gravel waterway, and I believe is what really started is there was a truck that was back there. Buried. Well, it started with one, looked like no license plates on it, looked like somebody was just cruising back roads and got it stuck and left it. So then fast forward, a week later? A day or two later, another vehicle crossed there. So it was what we did is put bigger signs up that says, and it's not on our road inventory. So
I've got a copy of the
to be totally consistent on this, we were putting money into it for
Right.
years. The landowner's like, well, riprap's falling in, can you, I mean, it literally turned into a situation where the majority landowner on the road was calling all the time about extra stuff that needed to be done on
Right.
the road. So we just, we'll chip and seal, and we axed it. Now we find out that it is not on the actual inventory anyways. So
I can show
the
you.
landowner was
See it.
supposedly supposed to be here and upset about, I think Lee said it's private road, so it's gonna be,
About 150 feet past her driveway, then picks
Yeah.
up on the hillside.
Okay,
So this section's 30.
it's a spot where people are going back there parking.
but it's not a dead end,
Kids
it goes
are
on through.
Right, but it's a creek right here. that
Gotcha.
goes across.
driving through it. I mean, I was one of them at one time, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a creek.
Okay, yeah, I see it, yep,
I told her to put a gate.
yeah. Yeah, as long
We
as,
just- yeah.
as long as it's consistent with what we've been
Yeah.
doing with the other roads, yeah, okay.
Okay. So I rumor had it that the landowners were gonna be here. I don't know if they,
I haven't seen them.
So if we run into an issue, if people still going through it, should we put guardrails up and block it?
I think that's a question for John, whether we can legally do that or whether the landowner has to do that. So remember when John gets here.
Okay.
The main thing is that there's proper signage up, that
Oh,
it's
there
a
is.
situation, in all seriousness, from a public safety address, I would like for people to understand that it is not there for people to drive through. It is not a through road, and if you do it at your own risk. Franklin County has had issues in the past of having roads where people cross water. I do not want anybody crossing that water, and if you do it at your own risk.
And
We've
but
got a
it's
few
it's
of
got
them.
dead end signs, dead end road signs.
It's a problem with it, it's not a dead end
Yeah, it's
road.
not a dead end. It just,
Well, how can it not be a dead end road? If it's not a road all the way through?
yeah, that's,
It ought to be marked dead end.
Because
that
no
way
one
they
ever,
can
the
through it.
county never wanted to put a bridge in, so they never filled in that, they never.
So, in my opinion, it's either a through road or it's a dead end road. It can't be anything other than
So
that.
I guess you're right. I think you're right.
I mean, we could post dead end, no outlet or something. you
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
Yeah, maybe that's what, you're right,
What-
Roger, I'm
okay.
sorry, because it stops at that house, that
Right.
driveway. Maybe that's something we can
Okay.
put up to a dead end, or
Yep.
no outlet, no whatever the proper terminology is.
I mean, is that something we need to check with John on, make sure we can do? I don't know that it is, but I mean, I just feel like it should be posted out by
I
the,
know it's been done before.
We'd have to do it on both sides.
yeah, on
Right.
both sides.
On
yeah.
another
Did we
road.
do that at, Lothbury Creek, Tim? At Woolham?
We put in the county road ends here.
And that's what
Not-
we
yeah.
originally had there, but people weren't abiding by it.
Right.
But it would make sense to put something more further up by 48.
48. I mean, that's fine.
You know, so people kind of have a heads up, so to speak.
Yeah,
I think John was doing some research on this. He was
Yeah, he called me Friday about the signage going in, and we told him we'd replace the signs, made them bigger.
Okay, so we'll address that when he
Put a
gets here to
billboard
make
up, I
sure
guess, but
that we can do that. But
text me, let me know what,
I just don't have any other way of
Yeah.
saying it, that we don't want people crossing that creek. That's the reason why it's
Right.
not being maintained. It is,
because we voted, you guys voted on maintain years ago, and that's why we.
yeah, it's in the minutes somewhere.
Yep. Okay. we can do that.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Any
I
questions?
did go down to Cave Hill and look where they cut that does look good. You can, it's really clear what's going
It's
on
not
there.
saying it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
So
looks
they're-
like, it does look good.
They're boring now, I think it's 2.04 acres that will be taken over around that area. And then once that's done, then we can really get in there and get it cleaned
Yeah.
out and go from there.
All right, thank you, Jason.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you, Jason.
Craig, come on up.
Morning, have a few updates for you. Kramer with the clock tower, they're hoping to get the crane here Thursday if the weather holds out and it's not windy. The wind's kind of been holding them up on that because they got to get a basket to get the peak off and everything.
Thursday.
Hoping to be Thursday if the weather holds out. We did get the clock bell to the scaffolding. When the crane gets here, they're gonna lower it down with the crane and then I'll get it over here to the shop. Frank with Frontline is coming in today to look at some electrical work for the heaters to make sure they've got all that they need for when the heaters get in and stuff.
That's for over the doors?
The doors, yes.
Yeah.
And I think that is about all I have for you.
So I know it was brought up a little bit ago, under the steps over. Did we ever get our door made for that? That we had to seal that off? You know, we was going to get something made to cover that up.
We got the railing up to block it off.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
never had looked at it. What about down there by the steps on this other end?
Yep.
Where, got all that done? Okay.
Yep, they brought it in at the same time and installed it all.
Okay, I hadn't been over to look at it. Thank you.
It kind of all just blends together now,
Yeah,
so
yep.
you miss it.
It's funny because I noticed that was done and looks good.
Yep.
Anything else for Craig?
Kind of-
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig.
Thanks,
All right,
Craig.
jail maintenance? Sheriff's Department?
Good morning, everybody. I've got a couple things for you guys real quick.
Thank you. Are you spending money again?
I am, unfortunately.
Thanks, sir.
I apologize. The first one is from Blackmore Buckner. They're the ones who put the roof on over there at the jail. On the 17th of March, in the early mornings, we had a big storm roll through, and night shift reported that they had water getting into one of the jail, sublocks. When I got in that morning, the temperature dropped from, 80 degrees to 35, so it just turned into a sheet of ice up there. So I couldn't see if there was a leak. So I called them to see thinking that we had some form of a warranty or something up there. They came out quickly, took a look, said everything looked good. Later, we found out that it was actually blowing a door open on one of our blower units up there, and the rain was getting in through there. So I secured those doors on every single unit, so future problems won't be a problem. But later they sent me this invoice for them to come out. They sent 2 guys out to look at the roof, and when I seen this invoice last week, I was not happy with the price. I've reached out to him. The guy that I need to get in contact with was out of the office, so I'm going to try again this week to figure out how that number came to point, since all they did was walk around the roof. That was not a price that I agree with.
I mean, I would say one thing, there've got to be some sort of, I understand that it was not a warranty issue, but I
Yeah.
would say that I wonder if Verigy holds that warranty, because it should be for at least
Yeah.
a year.
Because I reached out to Art first.
Okay.
To say, hey, who do we get in contact, because this is what's going on.
If it would
And
have been the roof, it would have been covered under warranty. You guys should have got them emails also, because I got them. Weren't they on the email that Art sent?
No.
I believe so, but that part I'm not aware of.
I don't believe so
I
either.
didn't get anything.
But I'm going to reach out to them again today, and then to get a hold of them to figure out what we can do about it.
So
this-
what exactly was leaking?
So on the new units that they put up last year on the roof, a couple of the doors for the vent access to change out the blower motors were not secured down. So when the wind came out of the southeast, which it never does, it lifted that door hatch open.
So shouldn't that be covered under warranty?
It was just they didn't secure a screw in there. That's
I mean,
literally.
still, that was
Yeah.
something, that's a defect in workmanship when they put them in last year, correct?
I wasn't part of that program, so I don't know what that
Were
that
they new,
entails.
were they put in new last year?
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
So I would think whoever did that work should be responsible for the I mean.
That I'll look into as well, 'cause
Yeah, I
that
just think,
part
I
I
mean,
wasn't aware of.
I understand you can't send people out for free, but I just think that, we shouldn't
I forwarded it to you.
we shouldn't have the burden of this when there was actually a leak caused by something that was done. So
Yes.
somebody else should be covering this, in my opinion.
No, no,
I
fully
agree.
When I seen that price, I was like, there's no reason whatsoever for this price. And I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention as soon as I heard.
So is
about
that something, can you get with Craig? Craig would have been involved on those
Yeah.
new units. Get with Craig and find out who done that work. And I don't know what.
It was through Verigy, so I'd go directly to Art.
They go to Art and it's like, hey, this is what's going on. Somebody needs to cover this. We're not sure what's going on.
it. Absolutely.
and
I'll
go
get in
from there.
contact with him
Okay.
today.
All
And
right.
I just wanted to make sure, brought to your attention that I am actively trying to figure out what the reasoning for this cost is. So I'll make sure to get that looked at and get a hold of Art on that as well. The second thing I got for you guys is a fence screening to go around the outdoor rec center and the emergency evacuation zone area. We've been recently, recently been having a couple issues with when we would send inmates to the outdoor rec, them being vulgar towards people walking in the back cemetery and their family members trying to communicate through the gate or through the fencing. And this was the idea that we came up with to, one, more secure it. We've also purchased a overhead net to keep drones from bringing in products and dropping them into the inmates. It was brought to our attention earlier this year that some of the prisons were looking at an issue with drones bringing in, so we are putting up a drone netting to keep that from bringing in narcotics over into the jail. This here, I've went through 4 different areas trying to get different quotes. This is the cheapest quote that I got, and it is to completely put a 6-foot tall cover all the way around the outer perimeter of the jail, including in front of dispatch, so that when the inmates are in outdoor rec, they are blocked from seeing anybody in the public view, so that if there is a funeral going on, or when they do the 5K, or here shortly next month, we have the kids from the high school coming over during the band to do the Memorial Day. And this will just keep it completely separated where they won't see.
And this is you're doing the work.
I'm doing all the labor.
That sounds pretty reasonable for price-wise to me.
See, that's, yeah. Because I got the price for if they came out and done it, it was $14,000, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
And just for public record, the price is $1,525.52. I don't know.
Do you need that information, Amy?
I have it.
Okay, all right, all right.
Just make sure the material is UV resistant.
Yes, yeah, so this is UV protective. It will have a moon-shaped crescent cut out so that high winds won't rip our fence down as well. They will have breakaway ties on it, so if the wind gets really strong, it'll separate and not damage the fence or other property. And this will hold up for 5 years in all weather scenarios, same way when it comes with the drone-resistant fencing or netting that will be going up.
Okay.
That one was 800 and some change on that one. I'll send that invoice over to you guys as well on that one. But other than that, that's all I got for you guys today.
Do we have a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I'm assuming we'll pay for that out of the jail fund.
Yeah.
Jail maintenance fund.
Where was the plug-in added for the coroner's truck? Where is that at? Is it, the truck showed up yet?
Truck, we haven't seen the truck yet.
I was talking with Jason Smith on Friday, and it should have been delivered then. They were just waiting on it to be delivered. So on First North, as you're coming down towards dispatch, it's right there in the covey where our American flag is.
Okay, I got you.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we have 2 patrol cars sitting there right now. One is the pool car, the other is one, as soon as we hire somebody, that'll be their vehicle. So
Okay.
we're just gonna move that out, put the truck there. So speaking of vehicles, there's some discussion between him and the coroner when they're done with that van. if you guys, this is something for you guys to consider. Is it something that we could hang on to that he could use for parts and stuff like that?
We've been adamant that we're getting rid of it. If we give them that truck, we're getting rid of it. But now, anything's open for discussion. I mean,
So the idea would be, I was just thinking,
Yeah.
big picture, he could use it from time to time for hauling parts and stuff like that. I know you've had requests in the past from dispatch to use a vehicle for training and stuff like that. They could use it, they would only be able to put 2 people in it, but I don't think there's a lot of them going to training it at one time anyway. But it could be kind of a shared resource among public safety,
Here's my concern. What are we doing now if he's running down to pick something up?
his own vehicle.
And you're charging us miles, right? Why not? Don't do it
Probably
again.
didn't- probably
Do
didn't.
not do it again without submitting miles. I don't care if it's
Once a
one
month.
mile and
Yeah.
you wait 5 years or 5 months to add up those miles. Because here's the reality. It's cheap.
You can't do that.
You can't do that?
He really needs to turn them in every quarter. That's
Every
the
quarter.
thing.
That's
Every quarter, that's what I mean. Every quarter is better.
5 years.
Well, 5 months, I said 5 months.
3 months.
So, because here's the deal. For us to pay you to do that and pay the miles on is way cheaper than maintaining as soon as one thing goes wrong in that
We
vein.
just need to make sure they have
That's,
mileage
On the van.
in their budget.
I could, to save money on maintenance, I could maintenance the small things, and then the minute the price gets too high, we just make the decision to just let it go. And
yeah, it's just, here's the problem is we end up being in this scenario every time a vehicle shows up, right? And then I'm gone or someone else is gone and that thing's being maintained out here for $2,000-3,000 a year.
and
Then you end up with a whole bunch of junk sitting around that's worthless.
somebody else already asked for it, and we told them no. Somebody else asked for it, and we told them no, same thing.
Who was it?
They was, Jace, maybe Jason and them was wanting to keep it for something else.
They were wanting to keep it
Yeah.
as a backup vehicle.
Yeah, so, yeah,
And we told them no.
yeah.
I don't know.
No more than I see that it's gonna probably be used, it isn't worth the money. I mean, it'd be best off to pay somebody mileage.
Yeah.
Really, I mean,
Or if the sheriff wants to pay for it out of commissary and maintain it.
yeah, that worked.
What do you mean?
Look,
Pay for, just pay the insurance and stuff on it?
Yeah.
Out of the commissary? Let me talk to him about, I can't make that decision, but let me talk to him.
Yeah, I just don't want, I don't want the liability to fall back on us that we have this thing sitting around here for 5 years. It's not that I don't want to give you an added benefit or
Right.
using your own vehicle. It's just that if we approve it, then next thing you know, I got a parking lot full of vehicles out here
And
that were
then it's
made.
not gonna go into the enterprise pool and get replaced next year with a
No.
brand-new vehicle, is it?
Let me talk to the sheriff about it. Just so I'm clear,
Yeah.
we can have it as long as he puts
got
it on
a point,
insurance and
Roger.
pays for it out of commissary? Okay, I'll talk to him.
Yeah, I'm not, I mean, you can do whatever you wanna do, but I mean, we never made that offer for anybody else to maintain it if they took it over, but we can do whatever you wanna do.
What was, who was the
I don't-
last time the corner wanted to keep
They
it as a
wanted it,
backup?
for something, I don't remember exactly what, but,
Why can't you use one of the backup cars?
yeah,
You can. It just, you can't haul stuff in the back of, the backup cars. That's got a big wide open, basically, it's like a utility van, basically.
You check with the sheriff on, the answer, just do some research
Yeah,
on the
I'll check
sheriff
it.
on that. We're, for informational purposes.
Like I said, this is
Because
just for your
I think the coroner's
consideration. I'm
still
not-
using it, and we'll reevaluate it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't want, the idea is eliminate vehicles and insurance and liability, and,
plates, everything.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
cheaper to pay to use his own vehicle, unfortunately.
I mean, if it was an everyday thing, it'd be something else, but it's just once a month, maybe? Average?
You think it'd be?
So going after paint, going after different parts and supplies, I go down to Halcom's once a week.
then we got rid of Craig's vehicle because he didn't need it. Then if somebody else comes in, or we're gonna have to replace him, give somebody else another vehicle that, and doing the same job up here, I think it's a bad precedence.
Like I said, I'm just asking for consideration.
I honestly would like to see it gone.
Okay.
I know what happens.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Not that, I don't know, there's probably some out there now. Do we still have that old, what does the assessor use?
Durango is gone now, isn't it?
Does the assessor have a vehicle she uses?
Sits up there, yeah, there's a lot of them sitting out there.
The assessor uses their Durango.
Okay.
Does it have stuff in the back? I mean, is that,
It's a truck, isn't it?
It's a Durango.
A Durango, but I mean, I mean, if it's there,
Isn't it just like a SUV?
I'm trying to remember this.
I can't remember.
so what's the gray truck? Whose the gray truck out there?
Gray truck is the.
There's either a surveyor or
Gray
the,
truck's white.
okay.
Did we use the assessor truck if he needs to do that?
I believe that's a county shared vehicle, as long as,
Yeah,
It does have, yeah, I don't think she takes it on and off.
The sticker,
She has the key to it.
okay.
yeah, I don't know why we couldn't, if you need a truck, come and, if it's available, use it. I would think, I mean, if she has a problem
I
with
don't
it,
think it's a truck.
or a Durango, the vehicle, yeah, something you can haul something.
yeah.
It's that gray truck, the Ford.
Is it
Yeah, it's
the
like a-
gray one? Okay.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a gray Ford
yeah.
F-150, and there's that Chevy that,
Yeah.
somebody upstairs uses.
Yeah.
Building inspector uses.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, does the surveyor use the truck? I see it out there all the
The
time.
surveyor has a brand new truck.
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so on the next thing on the is some ordinances. I sent these to John, I think a week ago, just for review, and I'm not so necessarily, if you want to take some time to consider these, that's fine, or if John needs to make some edits. Basically, the first one is the, sorry, give me a second, fees associated with records requests. Nearly all sheriff's departments actually have fees and fines assessed with like documentation, like if you're getting records and stuff. We've seen a significant increase in records requests, FOIA requests with the sheriff's office. And now that we have body cameras, that is a whole nother ball of wax. When people ask for body cam footage, because there's redactions and things that have to be done to a lot of those video footages. The camera system itself is between $15,000 and $20,000 a year to maintain that system. That's the cameras, the database, all the access to it, the redaction tools. When we go redact something, it's taking sometimes hours of my time to go through and redact that stuff. What this ordinance does is allows us to assess fees along with that, like what the direct cost of those records requests is. So we could charge whatever the hourly rate is that I earn for doing these, and that offsets the cost of the county. I don't anticipate collecting a whole lot of money from this, but we are spending a lot of time and a lot of money towards record requests that only affect individuals that are doing these FOIA requests. So that's what that one is for. The second one, the shorter one, I think, is for draft VIN inspection ordinance. So some municipalities charge for VIN checks. The Ripley County Sheriff's Office has never charged for VIN checks, and we don't want to charge for VIN checks for general citizens. They're taxpayers. It's a good service that we can provide to them. However, we have a couple of individuals in the county that are doing it at a commercial rate, or a commercial. I'll give you an example. Fraley Motors purchases vehicles 30 to 40 sometimes at a time, and the vehicles are salvaged vehicles, like salvage titles. Those require a law enforcement officer to go out and physically inspect those VINs. So about once a month, he comes in with a stack of VIN checks that takes us hours and hours to process. He's more than willing to pay. He has paid under previous administrations officers to do it on their off-duty time. But the law specifically states that if you're going to charge for VIN checks, you have to have an ordinance for it. So we put a stop to that. We've been providing it free of charge for the last couple of years, but it does become very cumbersome. So what we're asking is that we be allowed to assess a $5 fee for VIN checks, but only when it's used for commercial purposes. If they're buying and selling and then turning around and selling the vehicles, that's a commercial purpose, and it's defined in the ordinance there. We'd be able to charge a $5 fee for that. There's probably 2, maybe 3 individuals in the county that do this at a kind of a commercial rate. They do it as a for-profit business.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with that myself.
We would continue to do VIN checks for free for, just regular tax-paying citizens and stuff.
So a VIN check, he can actually get will the state police do one as well? Do they charge? Would they charge for that, or does all of that stuff have to come?
I don't know how the state police does it. I don't
I don't think they charge, but I'm not
sure.
I don't know if they would do
It's
it like this.
B&B form.
Yeah.
And usually it's the law enforcement officer, someone at the B&B has to,
Yeah, the state, I don't think charges for them, but they only do them, like on an available basis, which is pretty rare.
Okay, I just don't want to see this push a bunch of work to somebody else.
No, we-
I'll try to avoid this.
These individuals would still use the
Okay.
sheriff's office to do it.
They're fine with it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see a problem. Do
They
we?
tried to, like, get us to take the money before, and it was like, we can't do this legally until we have an ordinance in place.
So I guess, John, have you been able to review these? Are these how you would?
not fully, and it looks like in the ordinance, it looks like the fiscal body of the public agency will establish the fee for certification or copying of documents. And of course, the statute's gonna change to a minor degree, I think on July 1, 26.
Okay.
There's two versions of it. If you can give me a little more time on that,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll try to figure out that, which one, the copy fee.
So on the,
But it's, the cost remains the same, but it just indicates that there is going to be one that's effective until July 1, 2026, and one that's effective after that.
And where are these,
Yeah.
does it state on here where these fees are paid to and what account?
That's what my question was.
I'm trying to remember, sorry.
Where's the money gonna
I drafted these weeks ago, so.
go to? General fund or?
That's probably in the statute, I'm guessing. I think.
I think that if I remember correctly, the ordinance just says that it would go into the account that's appropriate as the auditor would determine, I think.
so then the only other issue that I see is that,
Oh.
is,
Sorry. So this one, the VIN checks ones, I think we were asking that it be put into the fleet to help offset the cost for the fleet.
Which that's county general.
yeah, I'm fine with that. But on the other one, how would a person know what it's going to cost when they make the request?
They don't. So there's a form that they would fill out that it like goes to, they have to answer like 20 questions in order to get a records request. They would go through and request that, and then we would determine how many pages of documents are we talking about, how much research is it going to take, and we'd give them an estimate beforehand, and they'd have to agree to pay that.
I would think should have a minimum and a maximum amount.
So the maximum you're allowed to charge is $150.
Okay, so that
For
would
a body
be,
cam footage, yeah.
so that would be in here? So-
Unless it's, so there's a rare circumstance, I hope it's rare anyway, where somebody requested, say, 10 hours worth of body cam footage, and there's stuff that has to be redacted throughout it. That would probably take me 10 hours to compile, then we could charge the hourly rate for that, for those special circumstances, but the normal rate is no more than $150, according to state statute.
And you wrote these?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do this.
That's why I would send them to you.
Yeah, let's have John have these,
Yeah, absolutely.
not saying that you did anything wrong,
Oh,
but
I may have.
No, well, it's a good start.
Yeah, that looks, they look
Start,
good.
Yeah.
start. Do we have an enhanced access fund or enhanced access in any way? I don't think we do. I'm not sure what would qualify for that, like some of this more electronic stuff. I mean, if we do charge an enhanced access fund fee, that we need to set up a separate
Right.
account for that, it looks like.
These records requests are a nightmare.
oh, I'm sure. John, when you redo these, make sure that it's clear where the funds are being deposited to.
And it does look like council would be the body that adopts it, so
Okay.
let me go back over it as far as the public records request. The VIN checks, that's probably gonna be the commissioners, I would think.
Okay.
Okay, just so we're clear on that.
You can have that done by the next meeting or two?
Hope to. Onward.
Sounds good. I'll be back. Thank you,
Ralph
gentlemen.
McChanley.
Appreciate it.
So, I do have a question. So, it was brought up, to me, and we kind of talked about it briefly the last meeting, that one of the bathroom doors on the courthouse was left open, unlocked.
Yep.
And I guess you're aware of that?
Yep.
So is there and Mark brought this up, I thought this was a good point. Is there a scenario where the two guys that work there maybe could do a security check every Monday morning, just make sure everything's locked? Or maybe they do that now, I don't know, after that?
So after we found out about that, they've been doing daily checks, at
Okay,
least
great.
temporarily. There have been additional security measures, so the cameras are up over the bathroom
Great.
doors now. There's alarms on those doors now too. So Craig jumped on that and took care of it.
Okay, great, all right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Lee,
Yes, sir.
so we got an email about, the road that, from Bischoff Lake, where the ramp's at,
Okay.
about speeders and people flying down that road. The person in the email asked about potentially putting like a speed bump in or something over there. I know in the past we've talked about speed bumps. John was against it because of the liability and things like that. So I don't know, if maybe from an enforcement standpoint, if you guys have some guys that want to run over there.
Yeah, so you're talking about on the east side of the lake, right? Where the ramp
Yes.
is? So we've had some extra patrols in the last couple of weeks because of those complaints. I will tell you that, in my experience, unless this has changed, Batesville Police Department is back there fairly frequently because the city of Batesville owns the ramp itself. So
Yeah.
they go back there and they're periodically checking it and stuff like that. So there is generally a presence, not
Okay.
all the time, but
Yeah. And then,
fairly frequently back there.
over the years, this is probably the second or third time I've had people, and it's a very, very residential area,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
there's houses, closer you get to the lake, all over the place, so they probably, my opinion, the city of Batesville should probably just annex it in anyways, but,
So we have, just so you're aware, we've had a lot of extra patrol requests in the past couple of weeks because of detours and stuff, 200,
Yeah.
200 East. We had officers sitting up there for several hours stopping cars. We're doing the best we can with it, but like with all the detours and stuff,
yeah.
as soon as they'll slow down while we're there, and as soon as we leave, they're right back at it again. Because a lot of them it's not local traffic in that area, so they're going
If
through.
it's not
100
local
feet.
traffic, you write tickets to them.
That's what's been
Okay,
happening.
hammer everybody with an out-of-county license.
Yeah.
Be nice to our wonderful constituents, but if you're
For the record, they're treating everybody the same.
no.
There was, I had a phone call because of a wide load going down through there too.
Yeah, we've written tickets for disregarding some of these semis, we'll write them tickets for disregarding the detour signs. It's a never-ending battle this time of year.
I know.
That and the juveniles, right, I don't know what's been going on, but for the last week, we have been dealing with juveniles just nonstop, running away, parties, all kinds of stuff.
Change of weather.
Yeah, I was called out Saturday and Sunday to help with stuff.
Really.
Yeah. The change of weather, and they're going crazy right now.
So I'll bring that up. I have to reach out to that person. I'm gonna ask John about the speed bump thing.
I don't have a problem with it.
And on that road, once you get to like, there's so many concentration of houses, it probably kind of makes sense to do a speed
Who put the ones up over on Milan by the golf course? Was that them that put that up?
Don't
or-
put those in.
Okay.
Would
So
you need
the
multiple?
person that sent the email he made a good point in his email and had a real good email. I'm going to forward it to you. That way at least
Okay.
you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If that's all right with you.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure.
Being in Morris especially, it's harder for us to like dedicate somebody to go up
I
there
know.
because it's
Yeah.
the northernmost part of the county.
Yeah, I understand. And then you have the city of Batesville there that can,
Right.
which has more people.
Yeah. The road is ours and we're
Yeah.
well aware of
That's
that,
you
but
in the most southern part of the county Saturday night.
yeah. And yesterday.
Hanging around that Copeland compound down there?
Out of my house.
Yesterday we had a runaway juvenile down there in that area. We had something Saturday down there too.
Yeah, the band member passed out, God love him.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was playing at the tavern.
Really?
We had a runaway juvenile Saturday and another one on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
In Friendship?
Well, he ended up down there.
Wow.
All roads lead to friendship.
They do.
Yeah. Anything else, gentlemen?
Nope.
All right.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
We got 20 minutes before Patty gets here. Do we want to go ahead and sign paperwork?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. You
Get
guys are
that out
good.
of the way? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting of March 30th?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 And then claims.
Do we have a motion to pay the claims?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so just so you know, the Reedy Financial Group that done the paperwork for the reimbursement that we're gonna get, I think it's like $83,000. It was a total of $3,675.42. I just told you guys when we got the last bill, I'd let you know.
Okay. But I thought we were only getting 75,000,
I
so,
don't know, I thought it was, thought what was turned in was 83. We may not
Okay.
get that amount, though.
Okay.
I don't know what we're gonna get yet. We
Okay.
didn't know either.
okay, so if we get that full amount, that exceeds the amount that we
So
got.
also have a question, so
Okay.
Kyla at 911, I don't know if you guys got my email
Oh.
about that. I know she's coming in today, but I also wanted to discuss, like, she went to a training and she's wanting me to pay her. She used the credit card to buy all of her food, which we don't normally do. And she used the credit card to fill up her car with gas. But she also turned in mileage.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I know.
It's one or the other,
And
yeah.
my thing is I mean, we've never filled up our personal cars with gas. We've always turned in mileage. That's what that mileage is for, your reimbursement for the wear and tear in your car and to get there and get home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not paying them. So I don't know if you guys want to pay them out of your pocket, but I'm not paying them as the auditor.
So
When you,
does she have money, does she have an account for mileage?
She does.
So that should be, she should turn in mileage only.
She did,
Correct.
but
Okay,
she
then.
did both. But
Right,
the
so-
credit card's already been spent, and that, I mean, she's wanting the county to pay it also.
It was on a county credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to,
And she wants her food reimbursed on the county credit card, which we only do up to $55 a day, and she spent way more than that.
so is that in the handbook, what we do? Is it documented anywhere?
I don't know how it reads, I need to.
Well, I
read
mean,
it.
I mean, it's probably just a misunderstanding on her
And I'm
part.
sure it probably is,
So-
but you've gotta realize, like, I mean,
Right, so we need
you
to.
can't pay gas and mileage.
no,
The
no, not
mileage
under
is
no,
what pays for the gas and wear and tear.
Yeah.
under no circumstance on that. The
Well, she
food,
gave me the law that stated that she could pay it out of her funding, which I get that the law states that you can pay your food and your mileage reimbursement, but you can't double dip.
No.
yeah. I agree.
And I don't mean that, I don't think that she meant to, I just think that she was doing what she thought she
Right, yeah,
was
we
supposed
just need to
to.
make sure she understands how.
The credit cards, like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I don't put up with no,
Yeah.
they're awful to deal with. And when we only reimburse so much money for each day, it is asked not to use the credit card for food and that kind of stuff. Like, take that out of your own pocket, we will reimburse you
Right.
for that.
So the,
I agree. That's the way it's always been done.
How
It has
many,
always been done that way.
so there's $50 a day for food,
55.
55 a day. And does, how many days she gone, was,
I don't know how many days she was gone, I think 2.
so that's $110.
That's a lot of food.
Depending on where you go, it could not be.
I know,
I-
but
I
I
mean-
mean,
I mean, you're free, I mean, if that's 3 meals, that's for 3 meals a day, I mean.
Well, I know.
Yeah, but, so,
but surely you're not going and
Yeah.
spending $25 on breakfast and, you know,
You're at a-
$35
if-
on lunch.
If you're staying at a hotel that doesn't have free breakfast and charging for breakfast, I mean, I went to Boston one time and it was $10 for 1 cup of coffee and you did not get refills. I'm just saying, just
Yeah.
throwing it out there that there are times to where it,
And I I know that, but 90% of the time when you go to these trainings, they give you a lot of free things. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
judging where, I don't even
Yeah.
know how much it was on the credit card. I just know it was over $55.
Okay. Can you hang on to
I
that?
pretty much told her that she's gotta pay for the remainder of that.
Do you know what the difference was between the credit card for the gas and the mileage?
I don't.
Because I'm just trying to think of a way.
Yeah, I can.
You could subtract that.
So, no, I can't.
Yeah,
No? Okay.
yeah, if we just maybe not, I mean, maybe in this situation, maybe we should pay for the gas on the credit card, but
Well,
not
my
pay
thing
for
is,
the
I don't
mileage.
mind paying, I mean, I can pay the gas out of county general and appropriate it and, put notes in there stating that we have an employee that's going to reimburse that and then do the receipt for it. But I pretty much told her that she had to pay for the gas that she bought and anything over $55 a day in food. She
I'm
needed to
okay.
reimburse.
I'm okay. And is she all right with that?
I don't really know.
She'll be here.
She'll be here.
If she's got an issue, she'll
That's
bring
what
it up.
everybody else has had to
Yeah.
do for years.
Yeah, that's fine.
Guess where she was working before, it was different, right?
Yeah, and that's okay, like, I'm not complaining about her, I'm just
Yeah.
making sure you guys know what I've done, because you guys
Okay.
are responsible for the claims.
Thank you, Amy.
But I'm not sure what you wanna do about the other situation that I sent.
Yeah, we need to, how you want to talk? You
I
want-
think I'm just gonna bring it up when she's here.
Okay. all
We
right.
need to talk through that, like,
If she comes. She didn't make it last meeting.
yeah.
And those, so the other situation, are there any is there any bills in there for that where she's turned that in, or how's that being paid?
Well, she paid for it with a credit card, and then it came out of her funding.
Okay, so it's already been paid? Okay,
Yeah.
I think she might be reading things on that she can do with her funding, but is outside of what the county
right.
process has been.
Yep.
Amy, there's one here, Indiana State Police Training Fund. What do we pay this? It's $984, continuing education.
Oh, it's just the money that they receive from the clerk. I don't know why she's got that under you guys. It's the money that we receive from the clerk that we have to send to the state.
Okay,
So it's just basically pass-through money?
It is.
Yeah,
It's just like, it's for like tickets and stuff.
okay.
And then like we do the same for the town. Because there's no town judges
Court.
anymore.
Make sure my wife's not listed on here for any of these tickets. They used to put this,
You probably know in your insurance premium.
I don't think they put, speeding tickets and stuff in the newspaper anymore, do they?
I'm not sure if they.
I don't think they do, they used to. Now it's just the hardened criminals. Well, the dog warden must have dogs, because he's bought some 62 pounds of dog food.
By the way, Perry stopped in my office here some time ago. And we both was thinking, was there a way for us to work on the vicious dog ordinance? Because we do have a vicious dog ordinance. And if we couldn't just simply modify that and put a few more things into it, that would give them a little more reach and things like that. So I printed off what we have as far as our vicious dog ordinance, sent it out in the office and said, hey, whatever you think you need in it, as far as putting the rubber to the road, what you need to operate with,
Right, yeah.
write up some suggestions on that, and we'll see if we can maybe work, instead of just calling it a vicious dog ordinance, maybe we just call it domestic animal, dog, cat ordinance, whatever.
Animal control ordinance.
I don't even know if we got it called that.
No, I think that sounds better.
Okay. But I don't know that it requires the inventing of the wheel, but obviously some additional language in there could provide him with some additional authority, I think, without breaking the bank,
Right. Sounds good.
which I thought his approach was probably pretty darn good. He was thinking.
You know, we have on April 20th, we have a meeting an hour before council, the commissioners and council to talk about upcoming things that we want to talk about. Are you going to be there for that extra hour?
It's at 5 o'clock.
It's at 5 o'clock, because this is probably going to be brought up.
Are you? Yeah, you will be. They're working on signing claims real quick.
8:20.
A lot of stone went into that parking lot there in Milan.
Yeah, they got a little more to do.
Damn,
It's a lot of money.
might as well
There's
just,
a lot of stone. We had to get it up. It's a swamp. It's up in the air. It ain't gonna worry about flooding now.
Trying to build a base in something that's been developing with organic matter, leaves, decaying timber
Yeah,
all
it's-
those years.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some pretty soft soil. Cleared off wood grain is wonderful once you put lime on it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to farm.
Yep. Now, they got a little bit more, I told Jason I wanted to kind of bevel back on the north side of the line because he's away from it. And there was a lot of water pooled. Might take a couple more loads or something. And then the ditch was holding water on the south side of it.
all right. I think I got everyone.
No, I have not been over yet. When's it going to be ready for the building?
I left a message, you can do it now, but I'd prefer they go ahead and get that north side done because the building will be in the way. And make it easier on them guys to do it.
Yeah.
He was supposed to got on it this past week, but the bridge deal threw a wrench in it.
Hello. Everybody's favorite subject.
Thank you.
Never know to be insulted or not.
Trust me, it's not you, it's just the subject.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Got that right.
And let's face fact, insurance is the one thing that you pay too much for, and you're really hoping you never use it.
Yeah, you have
And
to have
that's
it.
what's ugly, and it's not just health, auto,
Yeah.
homeowners, the whole shoot.
Yep. I agree.
Or if you have as much money as John does and you just self-insure everything.
No, I buy insurance, unfortunately. And affectionately
Yeah. I know, my property tax kept its own this time. Only went up $14 this year. It's all great and dandy until you get your homeowner's insurance, bill. My escrow went through the roof, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? That's what it was.
Between hurricanes and storms and.
But, I mean, you gotta keep in mind, I mean, the amount of how much housing's gone up. I mean, if your house needs to be replaced,
The replacement cost is pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, all of it. My daughter is looking at a two-bedroom apartment. Now, it's in Fishers, so, and it's $14.30 a month for a two-bedroom, one bath. Yeah, two-bedroom.
$500 more than my first mortgage.
That's only her and her baby, so we didn't even talk. I'm gonna pay $30 extra a month for her to have a carport, because she's got an almost 9-month-old, and I don't want her to have to in the winter to go out and get the snow off. And then for Christmas, she's getting an auto start, so she can start it, have it warmed up, and
Those things will spoil you once you have those.
you know what? I have one, and I hardly ever use it, but I.
Do you park in a garage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it never works, like if I'm at Walmart and I try to do it, like to start it when I'm in Walmart, mine doesn't
If I
have.
parked in a garage, I probably wouldn't use it as much, but since I don't park in a garage, I
Yeah.
use it all the time.
Yeah, that's what I think that I would use it more. And I never think about it, like when I'm leaving the office, to start it before I go back out to my car, because I'm like usually rushing out the door and never think about it, so I hardly ever use mine. But it was free. I had Toyota throw it in because some other issues I had with them, so I made them pay for it, so.
I have their app on my, their app's pretty slick because I can start it anywhere. But I don't know how long I get that app for. Actually, since it's not been cold, it's probably, the free subscription on that's probably,
It's nice too to even have it in the summertime though, to cool it off.
it still works. I just locked it.
That's crazy.
I don't know how long I have it.
Well, I think I can open and close my garage door from here. Yep, shows my garage door is closed.
Now, is that done through like wireless phone communication, or does that actually get processed and then have to come through like Wi-Fi in the home?
I would assume it's coming through.
Wi-Fi in the home, I'm confident that.
Yeah, but I don't know how my truck works. Like, I can be anywhere on my truck. I don't know how that works because it's not connected to,
Yeah, that's going through
See,
there.
How much of these data centers that they're saying is for AI, for prospective future use, how many of the data centers are out there now that process all that memory, video, cloud, all that? Because, I mean, you think about all the transactions that happen with the stock market, banking, and how many people have gone to like online banking and paperless.
Yeah.
That's gotta be stored somewhere.
well,
Process.
so, I don't know if I talked to you, once we're done signing paperwork,
You're
but, when I went to Virginia, did I tell you, like these data centers are all over the place. Like, they're stacked up in backyards. I mean, but that's probably what they're doing. So, I mean,
To keep up with
Yeah,
the people that don't wanna write
yeah,
checks out.
data centers is not a new thing in the United States. It's just a new thing in our type of areas. I mean, New York, or not New York, Virginia, Texas, and California have data centers all over the place that have been there for years. And they're obviously different type of data centers, and how they function and things like that, but it's pretty hot topic out in the public right now, but I don't know what's true, what's not true. What I've seen with my own eyes is, I'll be honest with you, is not, when you go drive through a neighborhood where there's 50 data centers and subdivisions around it, what people are saying around here is not true. I'm sorry, it's just not.
So what is the big I thought it would had to do because they're going to generate, like, run up the utility bills. Why are people complaining about
So they're not, they don't, so my brother-in-law builds these things, and his company builds them. He's just a contractor. It's based off of how much input the local area can put in. If your local area cannot get the energy, they're not gonna put it in. Like in Virginia, Ashburg, Virginia, where these are at, like, the study was that they have a 40% capacity on taking it, and once all those data centers hit that capacity, then they're not gonna build anymore there. I mean, there's obviously a science, but like the one in Jefferson County they're talking about, they're saying that the company's gonna pay for all the internet infrastructure and electric infrastructure.
So then what's the problem?
Some people claim water and the cooling, but I think they're working on that to be more efficient.
Everyone that I've looked at, I think we talked about this, everyone I've looked at, it's a closed loop system. If you have a closed loop water cooling system, means that they're not just taking fresh water and dumping it
Yeah.
out in the street.
Are
Like
those the
I
same
said,
bill?
I'm not saying I'm for or against it. You
No,
know,
one's for March, one's for April.
So it's basically somebody scared somebody and it's,
yeah, you know, it's not my backyard scenario, basically, which I understand. People don't want to see, people don't want to see farm ground done. I mean, everybody knows this about me. I would
We pay that
rather
once a
see
month?
industry and jobs being created in the
Yeah.
community versus one solar panel,
yeah,
because I just don't like how
What's his
Yep.
name?
how the approach is on that.
yeah.
But if somebody comes in your county and invests $15
Okay,
billion,
I've never noticed that. I mean, I just seen it too,
Exactly.
is what brought me.
That's what I don't understand. Isn't it going to help your property taxes, bringing in that kind of industry?
it should, but
I
like
don't
said,
know how all that
there's
works.
people like,
I'm not
I
an
mean,
expert.
that I follow on Facebook that share stuff and put information out there, and I'm like,
Yep.
Whether we use them or not.
I don't know how true that is.
I don't-
Like I
yeah.
said, I mean, I walked around in a neighborhood and they were building a 4-story data center in the backyard.
Don't know.
Hmm.
And these were
I-
million-dollar houses.
I don't know, I'd have to go.
And their backyard neighbor, between a little bit of trees, is a
You guys have
data
paid them
center.
every year for the last two.
Yeah, see, I could see not wanting to see that in my
Well,
backyard.
because the two was together, I see, I'm like,
Most zoning codes probably have a limit of like 35 feet in height for a structure, so I don't know if that was an industrial zone.
I mean, it could be. I'm just saying that it's, you know,
4 stories, that's pretty tall.
and it's in
But
somebody's
there
neighborhood.
again, there's no zoning code in America that I'm aware of that says you have a right to a view.
Yeah,
Now, I do know up in larger cities, there are some people, when they're the tallest building, they'll pay the people around them not to build any taller.
yeah.
Because they're selling that view.
Well, or if you're on a beach and there's, you know, you can't have some of those, I know some beaches, you can't have high rises. So, but yeah, that's very true. Yeah, you didn't,
Unless you buy up all the ground next to you, you can't really 100% control what
mean,
happens next to you.
We're gonna work on an ordinance and see what it looks like. So,
Well, I was just gonna say, we ran more fiber optic around Batesville Frontier is.
oh, really?
I mean, and if you think about that, you got all that network. There's your central nervous system, but where's the brain to make it all work? And the demand seems to keep growing.
yeah.
I mean, the crazy thing about the data centers is that from a political standpoint, the President of the United States was really pushing data centers in the United States as a national security thing.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
they probably have so many in Virginia. Think about all the paperwork gets processed, IRS forms, Social Security, paying checks. Yeah.
It's all gotta be, I mean, when you're storing it on a computer, it's gotta be stored somewhere. I mean,
Plus,
which,
you probably have to have a backup system or two for the redundancy.
Mm-hmm.
of all that, should they go down?
yeah,
I mean, we got a backup system. for
Yeah.
the county. So you just probably doubled your cost of energy because you're running two systems.
Yeah,
If you think about it, a little bit like that. But you know, like on that closed loop cooling, every internal combustion engine out there uses a closed loop cooling system. It just cools the
yeah.
coolant and the fluid, or heats the car
Yeah.
based on the need.
I don't know, it's just really interesting to see some of the things and then the research that I found of what it truly is, or that I'm seeing. I mean, I've heard, like, there's one in Ohio, Wilmington, Ohio, to where they have big old diesel generators. Yeah, big old diesel generators are running when the thing's off, I guess it's off the grid or whatnot.
Or they exercise them, but
It's loud and obnoxious.
you could have every factory or
The-
industry having that particular
Yeah.
scenario to keep
I mean,
up the essential.
My employer has
functions.
two of them, just to do what
But
we
I can
do.
tell you this, no data center's gonna run a diesel generator 24/7 to produce power, because it's way too expensive to
Yeah.
make power that way.
Yeah.
That's just for if it goes down.
A lot of unanswered questions, but it's interesting to see,
How it all plays out.
yeah. I mean, the one in Jefferson Proving Ground, that's true, where that would bring in $60 million in revenue. That's more than Jefferson County's whole budget.
Probably, what, 2.5 times?
Doubles it just about.
Trying to find the two invoices on this here, and I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Ta-da. Feel like you just bought a house or something?
It's a lot.
Thank you, Amy.
All right.
Okay.
Patty Perry here with their insurance renewal for
Yep.
this year.
So follow-ups, okay. So in your folders on the left side, the first, we'll talk about the medical, and what you guys want to do on that. So the first two pieces, I've printed off the projection and the premium equivalents, as well as the plan design recommendations, between the current option 1 and option 2, and then the projections and premium equivalents that go alongside those. Just to reset, so the projection comes in, if you guys continue to fund at the midpoint, which I recommend that you do, the projection, keeping the same plan design, so no plan changes whatsoever, would be a 9.8% overall increase. And then the premium equivalents that go to that are on that next page. And then that third page is changing to upping the deductible from $2,000 and $4,000 to $2,500 and $5,000. Funding to midpoint would be 7.9% increase. And then the third option would be jumping that all the way up to a $3,400 deductible. And the only reason I did that, again, is the difference between an embedded versus a non-embedded deductible. So that minimum IRS deductible is $3,400 and for 2026. So what that means for somebody that has a family plan, for example, they're covering a spouse and/or children on the plan. Right now, one person has to satisfy that $4,000 because it's a non-embedded deductible. So even though you have a 2,000 individual or 4,000 family, you have to meet that full aggregate 4,000 because it's a non-embedded deductible. If you raised it to a 3,400, that would meet the IRS regulations to make it an embedded deductible. If I'm a family, I only have to satisfy that $3,400 deductible. I don't have to satisfy the full family deductible. So
So it's per person.
yeah, it becomes with a family cap of, what's times two, 6,800 family cap. So the family deductible would go from $4,000 to 68, which sounds like a big jump, but really, how many people in a family are meeting a deductible? It's usually one person that's in the family that's hitting has higher claims. You don't usually see a lot of people hitting the deductible because of multiple people in the family. That makes sense.
And that would make it an increase of 1.6.
Yep, so then that takes it, yep.
So that,
It's a big, and so, but I think then you could probably, okay, well, we're raising your deductible, but you could I would recommend then keeping employee contributions flat and absorbing that increase if possible for the employees. But again, totally up to you. And then I did send you, hopefully Amy shared with you that contribution. So it's got all three scenarios. There's a tab for the 2,000, a tab for the 25, and a tab for the 34, where we could play with those scenarios and see.
so for this option for the 3,400 embedded,
Uh-huh.
what does that, so it's $3,400 embedded for one person, exceeds that number, but the overall family deduction would still be the,
6,800. So if I had a family of four, the max my whole family would have to pay in deductible amount. So if I met my $3,400 deductible and one other family member met their deductible, then the whole family will have satisfied, and the whole family of four deductibles considered met. But where it is right now, if I'm a family of four, even though there's a $2,000 individual deductible, the 4,000 can be met by just one person. So that $4,000 has to be met before anything pays out.
but then it's going to move the overall family deduction up to $3,800.
Yep.
Or 68.
Yep, from 4,000 to 6,800. I know that's a big jump, so.
I know that's a big jump, but if you compare that to what, I mean, I'm sure you have the numbers, but that is, I mean, from looking at my wife's plan and my plan, they're all set that way.
Yes, so,
But if
high
you're out of,
deductible plans, the benchmark for Indiana is $3,800, and nationally, it's $3,600. And then the out-of-pocket maximum for Indiana for a single is $5,400 and almost $11,000 for family. So you're still way below benchmark
So
for
do
a
you-
high deductible plan. I mean, you guys are more in line with a rich plan for a PPO. A PPO in Indiana is $2,174 for a single deductible and $4,167. I don't know why they don't round these to normal numbers. But essentially $2,000 and $4,000 for a PPO plan is considered benchmark rich.
Roger, you had a question?
So do we have any numbers as far as how many employees we have insured with the family member number?
Yes. It is on, if you look at the premium equivalent pages, the head counts for each category are on there. So it has how many people are on employee, employee spouse, employee child, and
No,
family.
I understand that, but do you have any numbers that say we have 8 employees that have 4 family members? We have 5 employees that
So-
have 2 family members, so we can see how many people's going to be affected by this?
The
So-
biggest thing is like that 20, how many individuals are in the family account
Exactly.
under 24?
Right.
Of the 20, or the 27?
So there's 27 that have family, employee child is 9, and employee spouse is just going to be 2.
So
Two
let me ask you, and I doubt you have this in front of you. How many employees did we have last year hit their deductible?
I do not know. I'd have to ask Imagine 360 to run a report, but I would assume, well, with you guys, with it only being a $2,000 deductible, it's probably going to you'll probably have more people that hit it than we see, but the majority of people never hit their deductible. I mean, we do statistics all the time on that, and it's like, I mean, I have
Is,
one.
is what I see here in our decision-making process, is we can leave premiums the same for everybody that pays into it, whether they use it or not. And the people that use it would be the ones that would pay more. Or if we keep everything the same, well, we're gonna have to eat the increase or pass the increase on to the employees. So the best way we can do it from a financial standpoint without increasing premiums and without the county eating up a higher percentage is to get this deductible higher.
Right.
And that would only affect the people that actually use the insurance. If we end up,
And if I'm if I'm one of these, 68, you have 68 employees that are employee only. So their deductible's only going to go up from 2,000 to 3,400. If I'm employee spouse, it'll go from 4,000, because I was essentially meeting a 4,000 to a 6,800.
and.
How many of those do we have?
Employee spouse, 10.
Yeah.
An employee child, there's 9, so it could be one child or it could be multiple
Yeah.
children.
And it's 100% after the 3,400.
Yep. So that's your full once you meet your deductible, you are out of pocket as much
Which-
for the year.
I got a question. On the family, if we go to 3,400, and that one person just has to pay 3,400 to get
And then
whatever
theirs is
needs
met for
done,
the
they don't
year.
have to
So-
go to the 68.
Correct.
Okay, now, what we got now does have to go to the 4,000, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the difference between the embedded and the
I'll
non-embedded.
just make it
So
sure
if
it's
there's
clear.
one person in the family that always uses the insurance, and there's 3 other ones in a family of 4
That never use it.
that never use it or have it at a minimum
It
amount.
makes more sense to me to do that, really. I mean,
Yeah.
And-
And that's the
and-
majority, the IRS indexes that deductible amount every year, so for 2026, it's $3,400 minimum to have that embedded deductible. Chances are next year, they'll raise it to, they raise it about $100 every year. So next year, we may need to up it from 3,400 to 3,500 if we want to keep it embedded, or embedded.
that's the only way we can do the embedded is if we
Yeah.
go to the 34. Okay.
Yes, yeah, the IRS regulates that each year.
I mean, this plan has been really, really rich, and I just so
It
happened
is.
went through and double-checked mine, and my wife got a new job, so I went through her plan, and it's the same way. It's I think it's like $3,600, it's higher, but after that, it's a 10%. It's a 10%
Co-insurance?
co-insurance. that-
Yeah, and yours is 0%. So
Yeah.
employer, once you've satisfied your deductible, your out-of-pocket's met, you have no cost share after that. So it is really
You put
rich.
3,400, you're in a family plan or multiple plan, you put $3,400 in your health savings account, now it costs you nothing a year. Well, it doesn't cost you nothing, it's your money, but.
Yeah, but they're
tax-free money.
getting $500 or $1,000 from you guys in if they put in money to match, because you're doing the HSA match.
Is it 500 or 500 and 1,000?
It's 500 and 1,000. So I'm an employee only, and I put in $500, the county puts in $500, there's $1,000.
So now your deductibles for that one individual is now 2,400. Do $100 a paycheck, and now your insurance is covered, out-of-pocket expenses covered, and your HSA.
If you can convince
$100
people
out of
that.
every paycheck plus what you're paying for the insurance.
Yep. Tax-free money, though.
Yeah, reduces
$100 a
taxable.
paycheck, if you make $30,000 a year and you can subtract $2,600 from your income,
That's-
money you're not paying.
It's reduced your taxable income. Yeah, I can argue that point all day, every day. That's why I love HSAs.
But you also gotta remember our paychecks.
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, I mean.
And that's why I would hope that at
It's hard
least,
for an employee to
Yes.
do that
Yeah.
sometimes,
But if they're-
depending on what their lifestyle is.
but I would hope that at least the $500 so they could get the full match. You guys get 26 pay periods or 24?
90% of the people do that.
So 26 pay periods, that's only $19 a pay.
And it's like
And then they're at least getting the whole match.
Most do, 90% do.
Yeah. As we try to calculate that out and tell people, if you put in this much, you'll get the full match.
I know, it's really hard, I mean, coming from someone that, doesn't have any retirement, is 401K and things like that, that if you look at the tax advantages on the HSA and like 401K and stuff like that, $100 a paycheck when you don't pay taxes on it is like $75 or $80. If you have a spouse that works, it could even be more. If your combined income's over a certain dollar amount. But people look at that $100, that $50 come out of the check. Once you
I
subtract
try
all
to
the,
tell, like I
it's
told.
really hard to think that way, but
Yes. I tried to tell my daughter, just do $25 a paycheck and see, you won't notice it. And then you're gonna, as you get raises, then just keep upping it a little
Yep.
bit, just, and you'll never know, and then before you know it, you've added up money in your HSA. While you're young and healthy,
what are your guys' thoughts on these three options?
Well, on a $3,400 one, you're actually saving the family some money because they was having to do 4,000 total. Just
yeah.
now they're
There's-
gonna save $400.
Not unless they just have one person
one
that uses
person.
it. So
Yeah, right.
you guys keep talking
I
about
understand
tax
that.
savings and they're saving money. This is
Yeah.
not saving money. This is costing the person money. So, I
If
mean,
they-
I
If
want to make
there's
sure.
more than one person
If they use
sick.
their insurance, it's
Right.
going to cost
Yeah,
them money.
right.
But the options on that side are, if you go to
Yeah.
these other options, does the
But it's
county
not
eat,
everybody.
does the county eat a 9.8
Right.
increase? Or does the county take a 8% increase?
Or you pass it on.
Because,
to-
or do we pass it on to
Right.
the employees?
Right.
And the reality of it is, when we start talking about the county eating the increases, there's a lot of employees that aren't getting any additional benefit that don't take any benefits, that are getting nothing. And in the past, we have not we've not made any
have not
substantial
increased.
increases in anything in this plan.
You have not changed that deductible since I've been, and that's been 7
So
years.
we're talking, and we also have not thrown huge increases. So if it's been 7 years for me, I think it's been about 7 years for me. I mean, we're in the 7th year of never changing anything. And I know we pay 86% currently.
Yep. And the other thing to take into consideration is the cost of medical trend. So because healthcare trend is about, anywhere, it depends on who you ask, 9 to 12% a year, and you haven't increased your deductible, so the cost of the claims keep going up. So what you guys as a county and being self-insured are paying more in claims, but your plan design has not increased at all to keep up with any of that trend. So you essentially have absorbed all of that every single year. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I mean, yes, when you look at it on an individual perspective, that it's going to, might cost, a handful of employees more, but as the fiduciary of the overall health plan, you've got to look at the whole picture and what your responsibility is to keep it affordable. Because eventually, we may not have a year where it's a single-digit increase, depending on how claims run. I mean, you guys have had bad years.
Actually, if I'm reading this right. So explain to me, the current premium equivalence at midpoint is 1.6, okay? On the second from last page. And then I flip to the next page and it has, bottom of the page, increase 10.5.
Hold on a second, let me get back to.
Very last
I'm
page.
on. Very last page.
10.5 increase.
Yep, so that is assuming the $3,400 deductible and you were funding to max.
Oh, to max.
Yeah, you guys typically fund a midpoint, the
And the
section above.
midpoint's on the, okay, I got you here.
Yep, so we broke it down.
Yeah, okay, I follow it.
Yep, so the midpoint I'd always like to remind you, is setting what we expect your claims to be, and then add, it's about halfway between expected and max. And 80% of the time, actuarially, you're going to be at or below that midpoint in your claims. So it's a good place to be able to fund the plan so that you know you're funding enough to cover all of your claims, and then build up some sort of a reserve year over year. So you guys have been running at a surplus, so you've built up some of that surplus so that if the wheels did fall off and you somehow ended up with max claims, in that 20% chance that you had it, you would have some reserve to cover that. But the majority of my clients, because I'm conservative, I always recommend fund to midpoint, because actuarially, you're going to be fine there.
So I know there's a lot of people that's going to be watching this, so can you clarify one more time the difference between the deductible
Yep.
on the non-embedded and the embedded?
Yep. So the IRS sets what a minimum deductible is in order to be a qualified high deductible health plan each year. And that minimum deductible for 2026 is $3,400. So the plan cannot pay out until at least that $3,400 is met, whether it's an individual or a family. Because your deductible is only $2,000 for an individual, it's below the minimum. So that's why your family deductible has to be met before anything pays out, that $4,000 deductible. That's a non-embedded deductible, because one person can have to satisfy that full family deductible. An embedded deductible has where you have an individual deductible, and even if you're covering a spouse or children, one person can satisfy just that deductible, because it's the $3,400 is the minimum. So it's an embedded deductible where you have an embedded single deductible in with the family deductible. Does that help?
Right, so what's the $6,800 portion?
That's the family cap.
That's
So
the family.
one individual will only have to satisfy that individual deductible of $3,400, where now that one individual, if you're covering spouse and children, has to satisfy the full family deductible of $4,000, because you have to meet that IRS minimum. Under an embedded one, the single deductible, if your single deductible is $3,400, you're satisfying the IRS regulation of that minimum deductible, so you only have to meet that $3,400 as an individual.
And then if you're a family, you have to meet $6,800.
Total, but only one person can't meet more than $3,400. So once that one person hits that 34, they're done.
Right, but if you have two people, it's got to be $6,800.
The one person would be 34 and the other person would be 34, yes.
Okay.
But if you're a family of four, any combination of them can hit. So if I had one person that hit the 34 and then two or three other people, like if I was in a car accident with my full family, the most one family would satisfy in accumulated deductibles. So you may have people that only meet $2,000 of their deductible, but because other family members help meet that full family deductible, then the full family is met for the year.
Right, I just know there's going to be a lot of questions on that. I just want to make sure everybody's
Yeah,
clear.
it is. It's very confusing to try to explain the difference between an embedded and non-embedded deductible.
I know we don't have the time, has had some stats and statistics on how many people beat
I
a
can find that out
deductible,
really
or,
quick.
you know, and how many families have had multiple people. I find it hard to believe, in my personal experience, that unless something catastrophic, like a car accident or something, most of the time, if someone's on a family plan, there's one person driving that cost.
Yeah.
It's normally not two or three.
Let me see if I've got her text.
And I understand, like, those numbers are gonna be off that $2,000, which is very, very low, but
But they do pay 100% after the deductible.
yeah.
That's a benefit too. Normally you got to pay a percentage up to a certain.
Well,
I don't know, it's another
And
certain amount.
here, no, but in most other plans, it's a 10% after.
Do you want to know how many families are meeting the 4,000?
I want to know how many individuals are meeting our current deductible.
How many
how many individuals on our plan are currently meeting the deductible. If we're talking this is gonna affect, 10% of our plan, or only 5% of our plan,
Right.
then I say we rock and roll. If it's gonna affect 25% of our plan, people on our plan, then there's no difference in increasing premiums versus doing this.
But you're using an example of 4 family members for a family. I mean, there's some that have much more. I mean, I know of a family that has 7,
Yeah.
it's. and-
But just because there's
Family,
7
they'd be-
people in the plan, they probably never even haven't met their deductible once this year.
Yeah, but now, according to these statistics, there's only 9 employees that are insuring children.
Yes.
Just a quick
Employee
search.
with children, but not family. That family could have, the 27 people, the 27 individuals have family insurance.
Right.
That includes spouse
That
and
includes-
kids.
Yeah.
On average, and I've texted her, I'll see if she responds to me on your specific, 1 in 8 people have 0 medical spending, which I've seen. That means I have one group that's 50% of them have not even had have had nothing in claims. And roughly 20 to 40% of people, roughly 20 to 40% of people meet their deductible in a typical year. 60 to 80% do not meet it. Most people are using preventative care, which is very true. So I'll see, we can keep talking about some of the other stuff, and then if she texts me back, we can come back to that, if that works. In the next couple pieces that you have in there, I know last time we talked a little bit about adding that whole mental health to First Stop Health. So I brought the information on the employee assistance program that you guys currently have built in through standard. It's at no cost, but only people that are eligible for it is anybody that's enrolled in the voluntary long-term disability.
Mind you, that's only anybody that's got
Long-term disability.
That's paying for it,
Yes.
Paying for it.
Yeah.
I can get you the numbers, it's not very.
not many.
To add it for everybody is only 34 cents per employee per month, so not significant. But it is, and it's a great little added benefit, but it is limited. So it gives you up to 3 visits for like mental health, and then beyond that, they would help refer you to a counselor or something in your area. They'd help you find somebody in your area to use that. So it is a resource. They also have lots of other different things within an EAP, not just counseling service. They have legal and financial, work-life balance type things. So there's a lot built into EAPs. They're just very underutilized. Employees just don't use them very much. But just about every employer has them if they've got a disability or a life benefit that they offer. All the carriers usually throw those in at no cost.
What about, I know it was brought up by Lee.
Yes.
Would this be a resource for them?
It is absolutely a resource because he had asked me, was it available to everybody? And I told him that it was only I'm assuming that we're talking about the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it was only available to anybody enrolled in the voluntary LTD. And this is definitely a resource, but like I said, it's a limited resource. It only provides the 3 visits. They can either do it telephonically or text, or I think that you can do them in person as well. And then once you've used up those 3, then that's it. Then you have to be referred somewhere. So it's really for more acute type depression, anxiety type things, nothing ongoing. If you wanted to look at something more holistic, that First Stop Health would be the option that we had talked about last time. And one of the things that, Roger, I think that you had brought up is how much are we paying right now on mental health claims? So in your packet, I did run a report showing, and you guys don't have a huge spend in mental health, which could be telling us 2 different things. Number one, hey, everything's great working in Ripley County and living in Ripley County, and I don't have a lot of problems. Or people aren't getting the help they need. So most of it was outpatient for anxiety and fear-related disorders is where you see the majority of your claims. Outpatient is probably people just going for some type of a therapy or something like that. You have had some ER costs. That looks like it was maybe one ER visit, possibly. I don't know, sometimes when you see ER visit related to mental health, might have been a suicide attempt or something like that.
So that was 34 cents per person, per employee.
Per
So these would be
employee.
employee covered only, not families or spouses.
No, anybody can use it, but it's only a charge per
Okay, fine.
employee. But anybody in the family can use it.
It's like $62 a month.
And then, so is there, I mean,
So then so if you wanted the First Stop Health, so First Stop Health, right now, you guys just have it for urgent care, so for telemedicine, which you guys have like 35% utilization. Oh, and I don't know if Amy shared with you, I did go back and ask about both of you, and you guys had been sent emails. So not sure if I confirmed.
We could talk about it today.
Yeah.
like
Yep.
I didn't-
They're probably going to junk mail, which is
Yep,
common.
yep. So I did confirm that they had you both set up, and they had you guys set up to receive things quarterly. She has increased that now to monthly, to make sure you guys do receive something. So just let Amy know if you still don't receive something, you might just be being blocked or something.
so on this employee assistance program, this is probably a stupid question, I'm going to ask
Nope,
it anyway.
it's not.
So you have this money that people have spent for mental health claims.
Uh-huh.
Is there a way that these cannot be, we can force them to use this first before they can go? Like if they don't, does this track to where it wouldn't be turned into the insurance? So I.
Yeah, because the EAPs are completely confidential.
Right.
We don't get any type of individual reporting. We only get, we can request aggregate reporting on them. I typically don't because they're so very underutilized. We see like 5 to 10% utilization on these EAPs just because people don't utilize, they forget they have them. And like I said, they're very limited to what they're.
Let me ask you this. So you're saying First Stop is the one we have the telehealth with?
Yes, you
right?
have telehealth with them, but they have a model where you can add full holistic mental health. So like I said, the EAP's got a limit.
Okay.
The.
How much
First
is
Stop-
that?
It is, so in this proposal here, and in towards the back, it might even be the last page. Yep, the very last page. It's $7.50 PEPM, so an annual cost of $11,000.
Do they have anything to where they will reach out with and make sure that it gets utilized just like the healthcare?
They have a utilization guarantee, just like they do, so they would actually 45% utilization guarantee on the mental health. So every dollar of that PEPM that you guys, that $11,000 that you spend, every dollar of that is on the line, that if you do not get that utilization, they will refund your money at the end of the contract term. So, and they're meeting the utilization guarantee on the urgent care portion that you guys currently have. They're far exceeding it, so they are getting the utilization that they promised on the urgent care.
And we're paying $12,989 for that for a 36-year term, or?
Right
a
now,
year?
no, right now you pay $595 PEPM for the urgent care, and that was for 24 months. So we're almost 1 year into your contract with them, for the urgent care. So you're paying $595 times, what is that, 100? How many people, 114?
So it'd be $7.50 to add the mental health to it?
Yes. Yeah, so right now you're paying like $8,000 for the virtual urgent care.
What's this enhanced primary care?
I'm not recommending it. I think it's a really nice option maybe down the road, but it's an additional PEPM, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's virtual primary care. So you pick a primary care physician, and if you get the flu, you can set an appointment with your primary care doctor and have a virtual visit with them, and then it's free to the member. So it's an option. I just think it's a big jump to go from what you guys currently have, but it would be an additional, if we want to do the whole complete care, it would be an additional $20,000 a year to include both the primary care and the whole mental health.
So the mental health would be $11,070.
Yes. And that gives them unlimited, so you get a psychiatrist or therapist or whatever you want to call them, and you can set up weekly phone calls with them. Because the other thing that we see a lot in,
And that will only be available to the ones that have insurance.
the ones that have medical, or you could pay for it if you wanted to pay for it for everybody. But right now, you just have the urgent care set up for anybody that's on the medical plan. One of the things that we see in mental health, it's becoming more prevalent. You guys, I mean, for you guys to not have it in one of your top 3 or 4 conditions, because I see it across my block of business that it is one of the top conditions we're seeing anymore, which is good because it's telling us that people are finally, the stigma around mental health and getting that help you need is lessened. I think the pandemic helped a lot with that. But we don't have enough providers. So we see a lot of people trying to find therapists and having to wait months to get in to see them, and that's how sometimes people end up in the ER or things like that. There's another flyer in here for First Stop Health that their average is next day mental health visits. So people are able to get the visits that they need, and it's 85% of the mental health concerns are resolved.
So I see, so the mental health coverage, you said it was going to cost us $11,000?
Yeah, additional 11,000 a year.
11,000.
And that's less than that's a little bit more than what we actually spent on mental health claims last year, correct?
Yep, a little bit.
So I would recommend that we keep an eye on because I'm confident if we add this benefit, all of this is not going to go away. So it's not,
Correct.
so I mean, this number is probably still going to stay where it's at, or maybe a little bit less, but I think
So I would think the professional one, so that $2,500,
it could potentially go away, part of that, but I think we need to monitor this. I don't think we need to spend $11,000 on the mental health, because we're,
So I'm gonna
Well, that's a three-year contract.
I'm gonna throw this out in my thought process, okay? If we go to the extreme of raising the deductible, I think we add this benefit in, okay? You see where I'm at, we're added additional service for our
the
employees.
give and take.
Give and take. We're gonna take this, we're gonna raise the deductible, but we're also doing an added benefit, because I believe there would be services that people could handle. If somebody's just going to the community mental health, are we getting claims for that? Amy?
What's the I don't know what.
I mean, I know, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there that
Yeah,
they
I don't
could.
know what that is.
I'm not that nosy person, I don't.
No, I'm just saying, like right now, if someone says,
I don't know if that runs through your insurance or not. Is it like here for the county?
it's a community mental health, where,
Oh.
like, I mean, put it this way, if someone was to get substance abuse or whatnot, have to, like, by the court system saying you have to go to the community mental health to do this, are we getting claims for that? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know
Because this
either,
would
but
be,
somebody's got to be paying for it.
so
The
there,
only problem I got with it is for 36 months, it's not 12 months.
Do you want me to see if
Per
they
year.
might do the 24? Might be able to get
So-
her to do a 24.
I don't know if we need to go down that. I think a lot of this came up is that I think if we're gonna do anything to fill in what Lee came and talked to us about, it's not the employee assistant program, 'cause
But
people
it-
just aren't gonna use it.
But for him as example, he's not even on our insurance.
But if he's if we did the 35 cents per employee per month, it would cover all benefit eligible.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
right, still, just people that have our insurance.
PPP would cover
Well-
all the employees that are full-time.
Yes,
Right.
anybody that has, basically anybody that has the life insurance, which it's employer.
Everybody has the
Yes.
life insurance.
Everybody that's benefit eligible.
Well, I think
would get-
that's probably more reasonable to at least add a benefit, but, from a health, I think that would be good. I mean, I know, like, my employer has it, like, somebody I work with got a divorce and used the legal services, got a discount on that.
Yeah, the EAP. So we can try to also educate more. I mean, we talk about it during open enrollment. We have a page that we talk about the EAP, and people just, they forget they have it. So I can see if Standard can give us any type of education material, posters, something you can put in break rooms, something like that, to remind people that they have that.
I think that would be a good,
I think this is good, I just think it's too much of a long of a period, because if it's not benefiting anybody, we just can't drop out.
I think instead of doing that at this point, the first thing would be to do this, because this is what, well, how much did you guys figure out a month?
62 something a month.
Yeah.
So do that, and then if we start to see mental health claims spike,
Then we move over to the,
we can do that. That works for me.
okay?
Okay.
I agree with that.
So now we go back to the insurance. Do we
Well,
have to make
got
a?
one more. Let's
Oh,
talk about dental, because I still haven't heard from her.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Making them make separate motions, I'm writing all this down. So,
Okay.
like, because I've got to be able to get it in my paperwork.
okay. The dental, I'm sorry this printed, I had to print this at home yesterday, so I don't know what's going on. It's a brand-new printer, and it printed a little skewed. So I went back to Delta Dental to ask them, because I know that you guys were concerned about that Brown and Crest Dentistry, because they are in the Delta Dental Network and they're not in the MetLife network. So a couple things on that. MetLife has reached out to them, and they are agreeable to negotiating and seeing what their contract is. So they're in discussions whether or not they want to join the MetLife network. We went back to Delta Dental and asked them, hey, we've got a competitive proposal from MetLife. Will you come off your renewal? No, they would not. So they stuck to the 22% increase. MetLife also gave us a second proposal. So that page, that proposal 2, they've increased that out-of-network, so that very top orange line right under it where it has usual and customary, they had originally quoted that 90th percentile. They've increased that to the 99th percentile, which means that even if somebody did use that Brown and Crest dentistry and they were out-of-network with MetLife, unless that dentist is charging what they calculate like 50% more than other dentists in the area, which is highly unlikely that they're charging that much more, people aren't going to get balanced billed. So it's a very, very strong out-of-network benefit that people would still be able to utilize that dentist and have that same benefit for less. So that increased their original proposal from 11.5% to 13.9%, so just under 2% increase, but still less than the Delta Dental renewal. And then the other thing is that they're capping the renewal, so next year you'll have a 7% rate cap, and the following year a 7% rate cap, which sounds like a lot, but we're starting to see a lot more of these double-digit renewals in dental. Just the cost, the overhead that dentists are now having to face with the more technology and staffing issues, that we're starting to see higher
Being a
trends in
dentist is a
dentists.
moneymaker.
Yeah, yeah, my dentist owns an airplane. He told me that, I was like, that makes me wonder.
I went to a dentist and I got past due billing all the time because they charge whatever the hell they want to charge.
Yeah. And then coupling that with the vision, so I think we talked about that yesterday, and that one was the difference between, I mean, you got a 6.2% increase from Delta, and MetLife was a rate hold with a 4-year rate guarantee. So thoughts on the dental?
I mean, I'm fine. I would be fine with switching over to MetLife. That's the question you're asking,
Yeah.
correct? If, as long as there's potential that the local dentist will be covered or will take care of it. And it sounds like
Yep.
even if they don't, it's not going to be a big deal if they don't,
Yep.
but I can't imagine
Unless
them not
they are
working.
charging some astronomical above. And the
Yep.
discount, so he did also share with me, so Delta Dental has 2 networks, Delta Dental Premier and Delta Dental PPO. And this dentist joined the Premier, which is lower discounts. So he's only giving a 10% discount on with his contract with Delta Dental. So it's not a significant discount that you guys are getting in your claims anyway for him
Yep.
joining the network.
You want to put that in the form of a motion?
No, wait, which one?
The dentist, the dental and
Talking-
vision, I do dental and vision together.
just-
Yeah,
Go.
and I'm okay with doing the dental and vision together, but the dental, are you doing the 99th or the 90th?
I would recommend doing the 99 that proposed to.
Yeah, you're still saving.
Yes, it's still less.
Because
Yep.
I gotta have it.
I know, well, if you don't want to,
No, I mean, was you gonna wait and do them all at once, or all, or you want,
No, I'd
I
like
mean,
to do them
in a
separately.
row, I mean, I know separately, you're fine with going ahead and do this one now?
Do the dental and
Okay, I'll
vision.
make a motion to do the, switch over to MetLife and the 99th percentile,
for
which would be
dental and the-
proposed to.
proposed to,
And
and the
then,
vision.
And then the MetLife vision.
yeah, we want to do them together?
Yes.
Oh, and the,
We do them
and,
together.
yes, and the MetLife vision,
Okay.
proposed one,
proposed one.
Davis Vision, whatever they call that.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And then do we want to go ahead and do the EAP? That one, I think is
We'd
an
like
easy
to
one
get-
just to
Wait a
do.
minute. So standard have a lot, so I'd like to do all the standards together. So are we doing the EAP and the long-term and short-term, accidental, hospitalization, critical, life insurance?
Did
Or are you
we-
wanting to do them all together?
Did we vote on those last? We didn't? Okay, because there was no rate change. None of those
No,
had
I
any kind
don't
of,
think we voted on anything last.
No.
No.
okay.
So the only,
Until this time.
the only addition or change to the standard offerings
Yes.
would be adding the EAP program, the employee
That
assistance.
would include EAP, if you made a motion, EAP, long-term disability, short-term disability, the accidental insurance, the hospitalization insurance, the critical illness insurance, and the life insurance, which is 1.5 times the salary.
Yeah, so
That's,
the,
all that is existing now, we're just
not
gonna
changed.
All
renew
of it but
it.
EAP.
EAP,
yeah,
okay.
The
and,
EAP
and,
right now
and just to
is
be
just
clear,
RTD.
and just to be clear, the only thing out of those that we are gonna pay is gonna be the
The 35
EAP
cents.
and the life insurance. Everything else is voluntary.
Correct.
Right, yeah.
And there's
Okay.
no change in any of that.
Yeah.
So
Okay with the motion on that too.
I'll make a motion to add the EAP to the existing offerings,
By standard.
Yep.
standard existing offerings, yes.
Okay, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, now the
And
fun,
that's- Yeah, the EAP was for all.
so that leaves us with the big one.
Yep, and she has not responded unfortunately, so I don't know that I'm going to get that answer on
Now,
how
you
many
have
people are
first
meeting their
stop health. Are we
deductible.
gonna keep first stop health, no mental health in that, just the urgent care?
Yeah,
Oh, it was a 2-year.
It's a 2-year.
Program anyway, so we don't
we're,
have to do that.
yeah, we're only 1 year into that and
Okay.
we're going to do the
Sorry,
EAP
that's
instead.
my fault.
So then we just need to decide what we want to do for plan design.
So now, did we get any quotes from any other insurance is this, I mean, is this like the best we're gonna get?
We
What did do?
quoted other stop-loss carriers, and last time I was here, we voted to renew with the current stop-loss carrier.
Yeah, we did do
Okay,
that.
okay. So we had already talked about going to the $2,500 deductible. We talked about that last time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in my opinion, we have the two choices, the
Yep.
$2,500 deductible or the $3,400 deductible, and keep the rates the same on either one? Is that what we was talking
So
about doing?
option one is, if you do option one, that's a 7.9% increase. So I don't know that you want to absorb the full 7.9%.
Which I sent you guys the numbers of
Yep.
what it would cost.
Yep.
More for the county per year.
Yeah, so if you And this includes, so this is a little inflated because it's assuming that everybody is getting 100% of the match for the HSA. So if you assume that everybody was getting their $500 or $1,000, that's $80,000 of this amount. But your total employer cost, if you kept it flat and funded to midpoint at that $2,500 deductible, would be $2,151,049. So that would be the employer, and again, 80,000 of that is the HSA contribution. And just to put that in perspective, right now, that number is 1.965 million. So from 1.965 million to 2.151. And that would be absorbing, that would be you absorbing all of the increase. So right now, you guys are paying, for example, 85% of the employee contribution. That would bump you guys up to paying 86%. For employee spouse, you're currently paying 83%. That would bump you up to 84%. So it essentially goes up a percent of what you guys, your employer contribution goes up a percentage in all the categories.
So if you do the deductible for 2,500, it's an increase for the county of $185,729. If you stay at the 2,000, it's an increase for the county of $229,729. If you do the $3,400 deductible, it's an increase of $37,407.
Yeah. Did you guys see that email?
I'm looking at it right
Yeah,
now.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, it's gonna get to the point to where you're gonna have to raise, you're gonna either have to raise the deductible, or you're gonna have to raise the amount of premiums that people have to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's, if we do one of the other options, the 2,000, keep it the same, or the $2,500, I mean, it's still almost 100, I mean, on average, it's a $200,000 increase that the taxpayers have.
Yeah, and then the option one is non-embedded, so keep that in mind.
Yep.
So if I'm a family, I'm gonna have to, instead of having a $4,000 deductible, I've got 5,000. So it's, that one's the only one that's a non-embedded, the other, or there's only one that's embedded.
I mean, obviously, when you look at these numbers, I mean, the $3,400 deductible makes sense for the county. But with that, I mean, that's a big jump. I mean, I know we want to try, at some point in time, we're going to have to share some of this cost with the employees, but that's like sharing, I mean, that deductible is going to be a big deal for people that use it.
Yeah, but on the other side of it, can we, if we're gonna be honest with ourselves, can we eat $185,000 without raising
Yeah.
premiums 10%?
Right.
Do we want to ask every employee to pay 10% more out of their paycheck, or pay an extra couple $1,000s if they actually have to use the plan?
Yeah,
Because if you don't use, because the challenge comes in, if you raise premiums and you have people that don't use the health insurance plan, you're punishing them for the people that do use the plan. But you know what I mean? Like, and you shouldn't say punish, but,
Yeah.
the users should have to pay the additional deductible.
by raising the deductible, you're putting more skin in the game for the people that are
And
utilizing.
I honestly don't want the
People are gonna say, we are the ones that use it, why are you increasing? I'm just saying.
I understand,
Yeah.
I
don't
under,
have the county insurance,
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at.
What do you
an
think about
outsider
the possibility of
looking in.
raising the HSA contribution, maybe $100 per employee I mean, would that make any sense?
let me ask you this question. Out of the $80,000 that we already have within the budget, how much is that being utilized?
Most people meet that HSA. Most. I don't know that number offhand, Mark. I could have gotten it
Okay.
for you if you would have asked me.
That's fine.
I'm not gonna sit and do the numbers.
No, I'm not asking you to, I'm just curious. I
don't
mean,
know. I would say.
It's good.
I would
It's
say
good that most-
90% do it.
So
And-
then-
Great.
I mean, there's a lot of people that put in a lot of money in their HSA.
yeah,
So
as they
most of them are
should.
taking advantage of the match, that's awesome.
There's a few people that take a lot of advantage of it, which is great. They
Mm-hmm.
should. If
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love hearing that.
Yeah. But there's ones that just put in to meet what you guys
Yeah.
match. Which is fine also, at least
Yes.
they're doing that.
Yes.
They should be doing that.
And to Roger's point, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're going to increase the deductible by by $500, then maybe you give another $100 for a single and $200 for a family, increase your match. So that would take that number up to,
But if we just do $2,500, the family still has to come up with 5,000. It's
They have to
not
come up
20,
with
it's not
5,000.
25 each. It's only
right, they'd
family
still have to
5,000.
come up with the $5,000, but if they're doing the whole match, they're getting $1,000 of that funded by the county. So it's essentially I mean, right now, a $4,000, but if they're doing the
Okay.
match and getting the full $1,000, they're only
I-
paying $3,000.
I have an idea, okay? We go with the 2,500 and keep everything the same. But if we have over a 10% increase next year, we're gonna have to move to this other deductible. Or increase premiums.
And the
'Cause I
25,
know-
I think, and I'm gonna be out of the picture.
Yeah.
I'm not here next year, so y'all do what you wanna do. But I really feel like before you have a meeting with your employees and ask them, I mean, they don't have to be a screaming match, and nobody should get mad, you're asking for their opinions.
Well, we could do
I
we could
mean-
do a survey.
Like, or a survey, like, to see what the employees would rather have. Would they rather have this amount taken out of their paycheck every 2 weeks?
Or
Or
would
would
they
they
rather-
rather have to come up with this out of pocket, deductible? I mean, it's just a question, like, I mean, it's not like you have to do what they ask, but at least you would have reference to know what the employees want. I mean, I've heard from a couple of the employees, I've heard both sides,
Yeah.
so it's hard for
I
me
mean,
to
I have
tell you
not- I mean, we
because
spoke about-
I don't know.
The only reason why I'm pushing on that 2,500, I mean, I think the thing that's gonna have to happen at some point, if increases go up, it's gonna have to get to that $3,500.
Yeah,
that is within 100% reason of any employer in the United States, unless you work for someone that pays 100% of it. Like, I just, from a high deductible plan, that is very common from all the plans that I've seen outside of the county. But, with that being said, last meeting, we talked about upping it to $2,500.
Yep.
I never got any negative feedback on that. I don't know if you guys did.
I did not either. I mean, I had some questions about it, but I had nobody
You know,
say, hey, that's
but
going to be terrible.
But it is hard for me to say that and look at a number here. Where was the pay, well, to see that even if we just do that, it's still costing, come on,
The county, $185,000.
$85,000.
more.
yeah.
Versus not changing anything, and, I mean, and here's the deal, this is what is horrible about sitting here in this position, is that we have to make this decision, and we have to be conscientious of our employees, but we also have to be conscientious, this is the biggest taxpayer's expense in this county.
Yep.
It costs more to insure the employees than it does to take care of anything around here. I could be wrong, but I mean, we don't buy we don't spend this much money on asphalt, we don't spend this much money on,
No, it's probably, yeah. it's
Payroll's
probably above
usually,
payroll.
yeah, payroll's usually the highest, followed by healthcare.
No, it's probably above payroll here.
Yeah. So yes, you have a fiduciary responsibility to,
No, it's not. No, it's not.
yeah, it's usually
So you're
payroll.
thinking
top.
to go with the
Then the- yeah.
2,500 and keep the rates the same for the
yeah.
employees?
But I think we need to really get it out to any employee that's listening to this, that if we end up with another double-digit increase, you're gonna have to expect, one or the other, a 10 to 20% amount coming out of your paycheck, because when we're talking, just because the plan goes up 10%, right now, let me do this easy math to kind of I'm putting this in perspective of employees to be thinking about this in the future. If we end up with a 100 and, About $185,000 increase. I mean, if you divide that increase between how many people are paying on the plan at 450, that's $1,600, everybody, that we would have to divide up between the 26 pays. That's $62 a paycheck. It's rough math, how I'm dividing this up. But that would be $62 a paycheck right now, that if we pass this increase to the employees. We are already paying over 85%, which is
Yes.
better than most employers. Like,
Absolutely.
I,
So the other suggestion is, you're talking about just not increasing premiums at all. You could ask employees for like a 3% increase to their premium, their portion of it. Even though you're getting a full 7.9, essentially 8%, you could increase their premiums a little bit to help close some of that gap.
we don't know what,
Just a thought. Didn't mean to make it
do you
more
guys, I mean, do you
complicated.
guys have any thoughts on that? I mean, do you split the difference? Do you,
So if I'm employee right now, I'm
I
paying
would agree with the 3% for them, because we're raising deductible, and then we're covering the rest.
69.9.
What's minus 3% of 185?
103%. So my monthly cost for an employee goes from 169.90 to 175. So per month, it's going up, what, is that $5?
Just for reference, my health insurance went up $197 a month this year.
And 495,
I-
76,
So your hourly rate.
103%.
What did you say?
510, so if I'm a family, it's going up roughly
Market only cares so much.
$15 a month.
For a
For
family,
3% increase?
$15 a month, so it's $160 a year, yeah.
I think a lot of that came from speculation that.
I mean, I would be fine with that, but I mean,
That helps alleviate some of what you're talking about, that you also have a fiduciary responsibility to taxpayers, and whether or not you're going to ask taxpayers to absorb that entire 7.9%. You've increased the deductible a little bit, and then increased premium payroll deductions just a little bit.
and I do want to say that this is a tough decision this year, but the last couple of years, it's been easy because we've not had increases.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have literally passed and not increased things for a long time,
Past might be 3
It's
years.
been 3 years.
3 years.
And you haven't changed the, like I said, you haven't changed the plan design in the 7 years I've been working with you, so.
Are you guys okay with doing a percentage increase of 3%?
so
And
where,
then sticking with the $2,500 deductible?
Yeah, I'm for that too, but I
And-
I still think the better deal is the $3,400 to
Well-
help the families out, but if you think about it, because you get $1,000 knocked off of that, actually, they're only paying $5,800
If they do
for
the
the
full
full
match.
amount. I mean,
And you could,
and
so
then we pay
here's,
100%.
here, and I know you and I are on the same philosophy on that and why we switched to doing it a match. But if the majority of the people are taking advantage of it anyway, you could just say, we're just giving you the 500 and 1,000 and not make it a match. That way you know everybody's getting that 1,000.
I'm
all
not, no,
family.
no, because
Okay.
if we didn't do the match, if we did not do the match,
Keep
no
going.
one would contribute to an HSA.
Okay.
That's what happened in the past. And when
Yep.
Amy told me that it's 95%, before it was 20.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was not very much, when they were just giving it to them and not matching it.
Right.
but People weren't putting it in their HSA, now that they've made it a match, people are.
Okay.
Which I think they should. I mean,
absolutely. I think it's teaching them. That was the whole point
Yeah.
when we decided that before
And
Jeff.
I'm
and
just
Roger-
saying that if we're, I think, a tool in our toolbox to be thinking about this next year is that if we've made some changes, okay, if we have a good year next year, we can leave it the same. If we end up having another bad year, then I think we pull that card out.
right,
Not do an increase, or if we do, it'd be a minimal amount, and then
That's fine, I just
Yeah.
thought that's a better deal
Because
for families.
Yeah.
Not for the individual.
I like
It
I like
kind
the
of-
embedded deductible.
I like the embedded deductible. The only caveat to it is if you have two people that have to hit their deductible and it moves to $6,800 out of cost. But I do know as experience, very few people that are probably on a family plan have more than one person that ever hit that number.
Yes.
Like the chances would be.
Yeah,
I think
it's
from
normally
talking
one
of,
person per family is the one that's
Yeah.
hitting it.
I think that if we stick to the 2,500, it's what we talked about the last plan, the last meeting.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a lot of pushback. There's gonna be a lot of pushback from employees if we switch to the other 3,400. So as long as we do some sort of an increase,
So, well, when are these numbers available? I mean, already it's obviously April and we have to make these decisions. And we started talking about this a couple months ago, more, a month ago, pretty strong. In order to get some feedback from employees and to have a little more time to make this decision by April of next year, when would there be some numbers available? What would be the earliest
next
point?
year?
Yes, for next year.
I
Could we have
Yeah.
some numbers, first of the year, so we have time to let the
Yep, so we
employees?
usually have your projection. So when I delivered this projection was probably what, in January?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so, and the projection was pretty spot on to what the
Okay.
what the numbers came, so we could absolutely.
But is what we
could
did-
do a survey, I would say we do a survey, I don't know, maybe October, November-ish, before the holidays, before anything gets too crazy.
I don't even know if, I would wait till them projections come in, because if the projections come in and they're not hateful and they're gonna be tolerable, then we leave everything the same, and it's an
Okay.
easy decision. If it looks like we're gonna have multiple lasers and it's gonna go up double digits, then I think we need to be having that conversation with the employees, because
Okay.
they need skin in the game,
Right.
and it needs to be people, obviously, that are on the plan.
Okay, so let me just make sure I got this right. So we're doing the Imagine 360, we're doing the 500 employee, 1,000 employee family HSA match. We're doing a 3% increase in premiums for the employee, and we're doing a $5,000 deductible, correct?
25.5.
2,500 and 5.
2,500 and
And
5,000,
5,000.
sorry, I said that 25,000, I didn't mean that. 2,500 and $5,000 deductible, right? Do I have
Yes.
that written down correct?
That is
Right.
correct.
You think 3%'s enough?
I think I don't know from a dollar amount how much it's gonna help the plan, but it's gonna be better than nothing.
Right, okay. Did we
It's
wanna
gonna
make-
cut into that 180,
It takes the employee from 169.90 a month to 175 a month. It takes the employee spouse from 359.76 a month to 370.55 a month. It takes the employee children from 283.70 a month to 292.21 a month. And it takes the employee family from 495.76 a month to 510.63 a month.
so that's
So the
15.
family,
That's
15
$15,
bucks
it's a $15 increase.
Which is $7.50 every paycheck.
And considering you haven't had an increase at all in the past
That's a
3 years.
3% increase.
That's
Is that what we
essentially
wanna
giving
do?
them
Do we want to increase the SHA?
No.
I think that's something we can look at next year if things change and we go with that $3,400 deductible. I think we would maybe look at something.
next year, it'll probably be
helping out with that.
$3,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we even, here's the thought too. Now, I agree on the motion and everything we're talking about, but let's say we have a good year next year, we still switch to that other higher deductible and give more, while we're having a good year, and then we're gonna position ourselves down the road.
And I will make myself a note to
Can we
send
get
you
that in the
guys.
form of a motion?
I'll make a motion to go with the $2,500, $5,000 deductible and including the 3% increase and keeping the $1,000 HSA for family and $500 for employee. Did I get it all, Amy? All right.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, I'm gonna ask one question.
Okay?
So I think we can probably get a form ready by maybe Wednesday, you think, a benefit form?
The election form?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In my opinion, since this is all changing, I think every full-time employee needs to fill it out. They either need to waive it or they need to accept it.
an active open enrollment.
An
You're gonna make the
active
meetings
open-
mandatory?
I don't think we need a mandatory meeting.
Okay.
I don't this time, because we don't really have a lot changing other than like the amounts. But I also think that it's mandatory that every employee that is full-time needs to fill it out and they either need to.
Even elected officials?
Even the elected officials that are.
Anybody that's
eligible for-
eligible.
Can you put
that
a
are
motion that Amy fills
benefit
mine out for me?
eligible, That are benefit
That you're
eligible.
gonna waive,
So what if they don't fill it out?
then they don't get,
I mean,
that-
if we-
that's up to
like,
you,
the
is
only
what
thing
carrot or
that
stick you wanna have.
I mean, the only thing that I see is when somebody comes in, they're like, well, you didn't even offer us insurance. Yeah, I did. You waived it on this amount, this day.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
that's why I'm saying,
Okay.
and then I'll come to you.
So
These are the employees that will not fill it out. What are you gonna do to them?
okay, that's my point. So
Yeah, I
if they
will
don't
have
fill it
that,
out,
I
we're
will.
gonna go make them fill it out?
Yes.
Okay, somebody will make them,
Yes.
their superior or their boss will make
Yes.
them fill it out?
Yes.
Okay, so do we need to make that motion to do that, or is that
I
just a?
don't think you need to, but I just
Okay.
wanna make sure
All right.
you guys know and you're okay with me
Mandatory,
making
active.
every employee do it. That's a
Yes,
benefit.
we are okay with you having every employee fill it
I
out.
just think it's nice to have in their folder to show them
Yep.
when they say, well, you didn't offer us, and, yeah,
Right.
yeah, I did.
I agree.
You signed off on it.
Does that take care of our,
your favorite topic?
my favorite topic? Look at that, we're, how many? We're only 15 minutes behind on an insurance day. That's pretty good. We've been here for 3 or 4 hours, haven't we?
3 hours, I think, was our cap.
Yeah.
Why I don't wear heels anymore. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, Kyla?
Thank you.
Fun insurance.
All I have for you is just what I talked about the last meeting about the 911 advisory committee. I've got paperwork on it. I just want you guys to review it and look at it. Essentially, I think this is detrimental to make public safety flow more smoothly for us. So if you guys want to look at it, I got copies. Pretty straightforward. Essentially, I got the last say.
Thank you.
But we all meet quarterly to talk about.
Can I have a copy of that? Do you have one?
I've got a digital copy.
Okay.
So I know what's in there. I type it
Okay.
up. So, but essentially, meeting on responses just from different departments, anything that needs to change, anything that can be better, possible meetings about disciplinary things, just to help me out as a leader while I'm still building leadership skills. But essentially, I have the final say about what happens in 911. But getting everybody's opinion to help us flow smoothly would be great.
So on the committee structure and membership, so most of these are cut and dry. When you go to police chief, fire chief, minimum one volunteer fire chief, where are they going to be pulled from? How would you decide, who would decide? Is it the Versailles police chief, the Batesville police? I mean, with
So-
multiple agencies in the county, how will we pick that person?
Right, so Batesville Police Department kind of does their own ordeal, so I'll touch base with all the town marshals. Essentially, if anybody's interested, they're in, because we dispatch for them as well. So their response, how they respond to things, maybe they have different ordinances than, like the town of Osgood may have something different than the town of Versailles. I want their opinion on it too. So I would like at least one, but if I can get one from each, that would be great, and that would cover it. That's essentially what I mean. And I
So
can
you
be more
would prefer
specific.
to have every fire chief?
Every fire chief, essentially, if they are interested, they have fire chiefs meetings fairly regularly. So essentially having one person come to these meetings, talk about it, we can run it through at the fire chiefs meetings. I have been going to those, so they're pretty clear. We talk about what needs to be fixed as well, but having their opinion about potential responses, we can at least get it drafted up and then bring it to a fire chiefs meeting.
So what,
and go
there's
from there.
11 volunteer fire departments?
Yes.
So, I mean, this is a committee, you're prepared for this to be a 20 to 22 member committee?
Yes. I would prefer it. I mean, it's not max, I mean,
Well,
like, it's not, that's the like,
I
all
think
of
it
them
should
being
be,
on there.
because I
but-
mean, Versailles, between Versailles Fire and Versailles Police Department could have way different expectations than what Summon
Yes.
Police and Summon Fire will.
Yes, and there are.
Because I do know there's differences.
Yeah, and there's
between the
different facilities in different areas as well, like Versailles, just for example, talking about fire departments, responding to like a nursing home within their district.
two. Are you
versus-
raising your hand?
Yeah,
Yeah, just come up, please.
I mean, I don't know much about this, like, I've just talked to you briefly about it, but I would be hesitant to put that many people.
I mean,
that's
essentially,
why- that's
it's-
why I'm-
it gives
like,
them the
that's a lot of
option.
people.
I would, I mean, you do you, but I would be hesitant to put that many on there. I would more have the fire chiefs meeting, let them elect a person.
There,
Bring, because you're gonna open it.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
which we can do that.
It'd be much
I can do that
better
too
if
in
we
the-
siphon the problems to that.
To-
So
one
maybe you
person
should,
and they
maybe
come
you
in.
should change that to a representative of the fire chiefs meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
which I can change
That,
that.
that way, because there's no sense, I mean, if you still want to attend the fire chiefs meetings and be involved, that's
Yeah.
something you could do to get that involvement, but as far as your meeting goes, you would want their representation there. So maybe the president or a representative of the fire chief, Ripley County Fire Chief.
Which they can put in, we can cover that at the fire chiefs meeting, so I can change that too.
And that makes more sense to me.
Yeah. If you want it all and you want to handle it, more power to you, but I can only imagine the different personalities that would show up to that.
There are a lot.
All right.
So I can change that, and I can send
Yeah.
this to you guys via email as well, if that's easier for you, once I
I
change
guess,
it,
let
but-
me, I'm just going to ask this, is there any reason why you need a commissioner or a council member on there?
The only reason being is essentially this isn't a, like, financial, there's no financial aspect to this. I mean, there could be, I added this section to members as needed, so if you guys want to pick a representative, I can also bring it to the council and talk to them as well. I kind of pulled from different counties on what they already have from like 911 boards and things as well. My previous agency, Decatur County, their 911 board is more specific on how they spend money, so they have somebody from commissioners and council on their committee or their board. It's an official board. Here, I'm just looking for help with leadership mainly, and then helping with some of the responses and stuff to help us flow better, essentially.
Okay.
Are you going, once you get this established, are you going to give us a review before things change? or
Yes.
anything?
Yes. Essentially, anything that you guys need to know about, if there's, updates and responses that the county needs to be aware about as well, yes.
Because we are responsible for y'all,
Right?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So would we, I guess, could we put something in here that, under chain of authority, all communication goes through the director? Can we put some verbiage in there that this can be disbanded at any time
Yeah.
based on your discretion?
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's not doing any benefit, I don't want to have to do a big deal to say, no, we're not
Yeah.
going to do this anymore.
Yeah,
That makes
I can
sense.
add that in there too.
I know at one point when I was on county council, there was a line item on there for 911 advisory person to give an update, and there was no board. There was nothing, so they took it off of their list.
Okay.
But if, for your purpose on doing this, I don't think we need a council
Okay.
member or a commissioner.
Can I ask one
Yes.
question? Do you have like a time, like a time that they're serving as that position, or is it like until someone will leave or not? Or how?
Just essentially, like, my main thought process with this is just getting department heads together to talk about responses, talk about events. If there's some type of new regular issue that we're dealing with that we kind of need to navigate, talking about stuff like that. So I mean, like, as potentially leadership change. When it comes to the fire departments, if we're gonna have them vote on that, that could be something they do it, if they want to keep them at fire chief meetings.
You might want to, when you go to do this, you might want to specify like on a yearly basis or
Okay.
2-yearly basis, just because I can see that.
Things changing too, with, I mean, just things changing on a volunteer fire department standpoint, period, so,
Right.
Yeah.
And they, yeah.
okay.
All right.
mainly it.
So if we get these changes, right? and then-
Are you okay if I email them to you? Because I've got an email that I can just, or I have it on a Word doc that I can just change real quick and send to you too.
And then-
Yeah, just, I think we can.
And then we'll sign it the next
And
meeting.
then we'll get it
Perfect.
signed off on that.
Sounds like
Just
a plan.
make sure you CC me on it, so I can bring it to the next meeting.
Okay. I also do want to apologize while I was here. There was some miscommunication about the last one because I thought for some reason that we were meeting April 8th and I was fully convinced of that. And Amy was like, no. So I just want to apologize because I wasn't here at the last one.
There's some things we do need to address. The mile, I guess your credit card when you traveled.
Yes.
We need to get that cleared up. Are you all right with what Amy suggested as far as the gas? That makes sense?
I haven't
From
had a chance
Dawn.
to read it. From Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm,
So like, I know that your like board or like your IC code states that you can pay for food and mileage or gas and mileage. I'll get it out here in a minute. Gas and food with your IC code for your statewide 911. Now, the county only we do pay $55 a day for food.
Okay.
Now, I know your book says, like your IC code says that they pay for, but the county only pays up to $55 a day.
Okay.
And then we pay 55 cents mileage if
Right.
you're driving your own vehicle. We don't pay mileage and gas.
how it's outlined in the statewide 911 funding is that it's mileage or gas, which that's why I just went ahead and utilized it because I was already there at the training. So that's a misunderstanding from my end. I went based off of the fund itself and utilized it that way. So I can update it for us overall. I just wasn't clear on that, so that's my
Yeah.
fault for not
And
clarifying.
then, you guys wanted to address the other situation with the appreciation.
So,
Or
yeah,
didn't you?
I guess you bought some medallions or something like as an award?
As an award.
What were they, I got it on my email. Like an appreciation something?
Oh, yeah, for this week,
The
essentially.
employee appreciation.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. I know you were soliciting people to donate money. Were you able to
Not
get?
money. Not
Not
money.
money.
Not money necessarily. It's just essentially like thank you notes, snacks, things like that, just kind of an appreciation.
And that's this week, isn't
That
it?
is this week,
Yeah.
yes. Dispatcher week is this week.
Actually, already.
So essentially just something from me as their employer, appreciating the fact that they're showing up to work. We are currently working regular mandatory overtime because we are short. Things like that, I think it's important to come from us. That was a fallback if we didn't get any type of response from anybody. I don't want to say I had expectations. I just always come into it essentially hoping that somebody will, but not having that expectation. We have had some. People, I think, are going to be donating food. We actually do have some Girl Scout visitors this week who are interested in learning about the dispatch center and things like that. I think they're bringing cookies, but mainly the stuff with that is just, it's like highlighters, stress
They
balls.
do not have anything coming, because I'm going to buy something to bring down there to them.
I'll have to double check my calendar. I think tomorrow may be the only day.
Okay, because I'm gonna buy some cookies or pizza or something to bring down.
Thank you very much. But essentially that was, it's all like, it's notebook, it's things that they can use while working in a shift. And then just essentially, just appreciation for the fact that they continue to show up when they, are mandatory too, essentially, but
So,
I guess what was the question? Sorry, not to
so
tangent.
we do not pay for any type of employee appreciation, no gifts, nothing like that.
Okay.
That's came up in the past, and
Okay.
we've said, no, we're not going to do that.
Okay,
So that's the concern, is we don't want to be doing something for your group that we have turned down to other groups.
other groups, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Amazon purchase,
Yeah. So I can, whatever I need to do, I can cover that myself. That's fine.
$314. Do we have a way that we can pay for that out of our funding as commissioners as an appreciation week?
I don't think we can do that without contradict things we've done in the past. If you want to split it up, pay it out of our pocket, that's
I
one
can-
Well, I
thing.
mean,
Hey,
typically,
I can-
typically that's what's come out in the past, but,
You know,
you know,
I mean,
just-
it's already been paid for.
Right.
So, I just think this, I mean, I don't mean to sound this way, slap on the
that's okay.
hand and say we can't do it anymore.
Okay,
At this
that-
point.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so that's the approach we'll take on it. And the challenge comes in, it's a great gesture, I get it, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that under the IC code, you were able to use funding for that,
And I
okay?
will tell you this, Kyla, like for my girls, like I do buy them stuff.
Right.
But I do it out of my own.
That's,
I know,
Right,
I'm just
right,
letting
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like.
that's the challenge that comes in, is that if one's done for one, then now it turns into, we have to do this
Right.
for.
And this
all.
is-
Does that make sense?
Me still learning this position as
Yeah,
well,
and
so I
that's okay.
apologize.
That's why I
Yeah.
brought it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't make them decisions. I have to
Right.
bring it to them. They're
that
your
with the
boss.
school?
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
I know.
absolutely.
I don't understand.
You'd have to see the breakdown on it.
Right.
The APCO International, that's the training? you-
That is training. That is mandatory training from the state slash,
Where was that at?
it's not at anywhere, it's online. Makes it significantly easier for,
So the $765 is actually for pay for the training?
yes, so there was
Okay.
2 different types of training. That training is not covered by the state, but it's a requirement that we have to be able to dispatch and call take any type of EMS call. Both of my supervisors are now EMD managers, so they're going to be handling that, and we're going to start a new program for that. But one of them was virtual, one of them is like an online course, kind of like college, either way. So that's the only one that wasn't covered by the state.
Okay, cool. Any other questions?
Nope.
Everything must be running good down there, so we haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything, so keep up the good work.
Yep, thank you.
right.
very
All
much.
right, thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too.
Yep.
Thanks, Kyla.
So we got-
All right, Janine? Morning.
Janine Ostendorf, CEO of Ripley Care. And first thing I want to say is April is National Prevention of Animal Cruelty Month, so we naturally had to be here during this month to address that.
Is what? It's what?
National Prevention of Animal Cruelty. April's the month for that. Okay, and there's a fine line, between neglect, cruelty, and abuse. And you really have to know, and you really have to do this for a while before you realize we get a lot of calls that are just, somebody just don't like to see a dog chained up. That is not against the law, and it doesn't apply to a lot of cruelty things, because you totally can chain up a dog in Indiana. It's not against any laws. Our main concern is the recent investigation of a possible puppy mill and the lack of protocol when a horse was struck at Napoleon on April 2nd. It's not an isolated case. This does happen from time to time. People's livestock get on their highways, and they get struck. And I think that it'd be wise for Ripley County Communications or commissioners or somebody would have some kind of protocol on what to do in those instances, because it is a health hazard when you have something like that happen. You got a large animal that's down, not dead. The health and safety of our citizens is at risk. So that horse or cow, any livestock that gets out and gets hit and is not immediately killed represents an actual hazard to residents of the county. For years, Ripley County has done minimal compared to our other counties with addressing the ever-growing animal population here. The lack of us having a county shelter and an ACO puts a significant stress on the residents of this county. I hear from residents calling me up and saying, okay, Ripley Humane's full, the dog warden's full, we have this dog. It's here in our yard, we can't keep it. We're putting a strain on residents and not only also our neighboring counties, because at our last care committee meeting, we were informed that Jefferson County took one of our dogs from Ripley County because Perry was full and the Humane Society was also full. All our surrounding counties has found a way.
Sorry, hold on. I have a thought. I apologize. I've
Okay.
told you this, I think out loud. and
Yeah,
you're-
I know you do. I've been here enough times, I've seen it before.
When we're in that situation, don't you think that someone, McPerry or someone needs to let us know how often that happens? Where he's full and where the Humane Society's full to where we're in that situation. I wonder how many times that happens.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
quite often.
Okay.
It's
So-
quite often. I don't have an actual number, but it's quite often that it does happen, according to the calls that we get. And people, you know, they're calling me and they're saying, what can we do? And I said, I don't know. I'm doing everything I can, within our
All
power.
right, sorry, you can proceed.
Okay. Our surrounding counties have found a way to have their shelters and have their ACOs. All of them, even Little Ohio County. CARE, we get a lot of calls. The Ripley County 911, they even get more calls. They had 448 calls last year in 2025, animal-related calls. We recently went and got a summary from the prosecutor's office, and it shows that we've had 4 animal cruelty cases that went to court in the past 10 years. That's a very low number. Why? I don't know the why, but I've been told the prosecutor can't prosecute if he don't have orders and a report from an officer about this case. And if the prosecutor don't get the report, then he can't prosecute anything. So there's a lax there, because in 10 years, we should have a lot more than 4. And those 4, one was the city of Batesville Police, one was state police. The prosecutor took it up themselves, and then Ripley County Sheriff's Department was the other one, the 4th one that was listed on the paper, the summary I got from prosecutor. You know, our gap in resources also makes us more difficult. It makes it difficult for our citizens and our sheriffs to respond effectively. CARE's done a lot of research. We gave you binders months ago with a lot of information on it. And we think that now's the time to try to move forward. It's going to take a while. We all realize nothing like this is going to ever happen overnight. But when neglect and cruelty goes unaddressed, it's not only endangering the animal, it also contributes to broader community concerns like public health and safety, like I was saying before. It's a dangerous situation when you got an animal down that needs destroyed, it's not destroyed, and you've got women and children right there in that area. That's really a concern. Unvaccinated animals allowed to roam freely in Ripley County, that's against state law. Out of 59 animal reported bites, actually there was only 57 of them that was dogs. One was a cat, one was a donkey, but 2 out of every 3 dogs were unvaccinated. That is state law, to have your rabies vaccine. You do not have to have all the vaccines, but rabies is the law. Ripley Care and Ripley County Health Department and Ripley County Humane Society, we've partnered and we have in place a spay-neuter transport clinic that comes every month to Ripley County Humane. This is part of our solution, part of what we do as Ripley Care to try to help slow down the overpopulation of all these animals. Our second rabies vaccine is going to be scheduled for May the 16th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that will also be held at Ripley County Humane Society. And Ripley County, if you're listening, get your pets vaccinated. Rabies is on a small inclination. I mean, it's starting to rise. There was years, I don't know how many right off, but there was like a period of 10, maybe 15 years where we had 0 cases. But starting in 2024, they have started to come back. 2 skunks, and then 12 of them was bats. And the closest one was up in Decatur County, Greensburg. Having unvaccinated animals running freely around Ripley County should be a concern of all of ours, because that's a health hazard right there. Zoonotic diseases, I've talked to you guys about it. Rabies is fatal. Once you have the symptoms, it's fatal. So if you get bitten, you need to turn it in. The 59 bites that I was speaking about, that was the ones that was reported to the health department. It's anybody's guess how many bites actually took place. But we know not all of them got reported. I think it's a good time for Ripley County to start a new plan for a future for the health and safety of our county residents. And that's all I have. I just wanted to really tell you guys, this is really important. This is something that we can't leave unaddressed indefinitely, because the amount of animals that's running around unvaccinated, if we do nothing else, we need to do something about that. And our group has got we're going to do it twice a year. And we're paying for the vaccine, and it'll take place at Ripley County Humane Society, and it'll be from 8 to 2 on May 16th. Bring your animals in and get them vaccinated. Thank you.
All right, thank you
Appreciate
for
your
your
time.
time. Appreciate all that you do.
Thank you.
I think the last thing, John, you missed early. Jason came in early because he had a meeting at the highway for the bridge. The Mud Road, 600. So we have decided we're going to put dead-end signs on each side. It is not in the county inventory, that section of road.
It's not closed, but if it's not maintained, you certainly have the right to sign and limit traffic on the roads.
Can we put a guardrail up, block
I
it?
think you can, but you'd need to it needs to be put up no different than what NDOT specs would be as far as a road closing, whatever the recommended warning signs are, and make sure that it's visible enough that everybody knows. You may hear from the landowner, because obviously people that drive down the road are probably gonna end up having to turn around on the road or back up to the first driveway to turn around.
Well, they're supposed to be putting a dead-end sign at the road.
They are up. He sent a text. They have
Yeah.
dead end signs up.
Okay.
The signs are put up.
But Lee got a hold of me last week, and
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
got a hold of Jason, and Jason probably got a hold of you, but nothing says you have to spend the money to fix a road that's not worthy of fixing or keeping up. But I don't think it's been closed temporarily or permanent. It hasn't been vacated. My presumption would be most landowners don't necessarily want to lose the ability for that to still be a right-of-way and be brought up to specs at some point, and use that for road frontage, depending on how they see fit to use their land. So I think if you're gonna not maintain it and really aren't in the position to vacate it or close it, just make sure it's signed appropriately with the appropriate warnings, so that people can know what they're going down. Very big, very, very bold.
So if we have a dead end sign when you come off the highway, and then a sign that this is the end of county maintenance, are we liable if somebody goes down in there and
I
gets something
don't
happens?
think you are, but I would probably put, road is cut off, or road is barricaded. And if they do get on any of the non-maintained, I think it would say high water passable, road impassable, road not maintained, severe rutting, damage to road.
That's why I was wanting to block it.
Something that
The
basically,
owner can still get around it somehow.
Well, I
You
think
just
that,
blocked a direct path. I know they've done-
People still won't try to thread a needle
Well,
between a couple guardrails.
We had Delaware Road closed years ago when
Yeah,
it,
I
the
mean,
Iron Bridge, they had a guardrail up.
It's totally permissible
Yeah.
to do that.
Grandpa just had another way to get on it, that's all. So that way,
So I think this is what I'm going to say here. I think that's the next step in the process. Let's see what we've done now. If cars get stuck down there, it is 100%. But if it continues to arise as an issue, then the next step will be us putting a guardrail up and just being done with it.
or that or just a big concrete block sitting in there or something.
My
With signage
recommendation
on it.
too was talk to like USI, what did they see as being the most widely accepted? Somebody that works in
Yeah.
it like that.
And like I said in the previous, before you got here, it's to the point to where there's one of two things that's going to happen. It's going to be closed or two, you build a bridge. We're not building a bridge. Okay? The commissioners years ago said they weren't going to build a bridge for that. And with that being said, I don't want people driving across water, moving water. So then if signage don't solve the problem, the next thing that will be done will be us putting up a barrier. It was quiet for 2 years, or 3 years. We did that in the motion on ending and maintaining that road when we chip and sealed that road. And if I'm not mistaken, that was, Chris and Kendall were here, that was over 2 years ago.
And I think everything was acceptable from that standpoint.
The landowners agreed to it at the time,
I
and it's in our minutes.
Dwayne and Christie, their main thing was they wanted something to knock the dust down that came to their house from that road.
Yeah.
Was their primary concern.
But they had also asked us to degrade that down there very often. They also, had erosion problems and requested riprap. And with how the highway garage is now, if it is not a county road, we do not put money into it. Period. I think we all know someone that has been in this scenario that has reached out to us, and the buck stops here. So anyways,
Yep.
we'll see. We'll wait until the next cars get stuck down there. I was told by Lee, and I don't know, he's probably listening to come down here, but if, as far as we're concerned, who's liable to Carl to have the vehicles towed out of that area, if they are towed?
I would think it'd be the.
Landowner?
Well, I would think it'd be the owner of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Or the landowner. But technically, it's still a right-of-way. It's just not a maintained right-of-way.
No.
It's not a maintained county road until you basically say that it's.
So it would be the vehicle owner.
Right, yeah,
I mean, if it's, like,
But I guess the scenario was one vehicle was down there without a license plate on it,
Or registration.
or registration. Heard there's beer cans in it too, so they must have had a good time.
Take it to the junkyard, make some money.
But who?
Basically, whoever calls for the tow company will probably come tow it, and they'll probably impound it, and when enough time goes by, and no one shows up to retrieve it, the tow company will go through its process to get the permission to sell it and recoup its money that way.
Okay. All right. You guys got anything else?
Speed
I
bumps.
tell you what, if there's a vehicle there that's left there, that's kind of gonna be a guardrail.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, it might not be a bad idea to contact USI or BF&S, someone to just kind of, what are the standards that the state would use for blockading a road, and try to be on par with that. And that, I don't know, that might be in the uniform traffic manual.
Okay.
Every one I've seen, they block it, say road closed. I mean,
I don't disagree with that, what I'm telling you is, I don't know what state standards are on that, and I can
Okay.
at least try to be on the same level of what they do with
So-
sufficient warning, and then I would think at that point, from a liability standpoint, we've done everything we can to warn people of the danger, so that if they happen to decide they want to proceed on, at that point, it becomes contributory negligence.
And I really, I don't want to have a Franklin County situation. I don't want anyone to get hurt driving across this. Like, I would prefer no one just to drive across it. Can't say that. The next big question comes in is we were approached via email from someone that lives where I don't know the exact name of the road, Bischoff Lake Boat Ramp's at, about putting a speed bump in that residential area.
so here's Dunlap's contract that you talked about. It was done in '24,
okay,
and it's a 2-year contract,
okay, all right.
December of
That-
'24,
all right,
okay? I
thank
just
you.
wanted to
Appreciate
make
it.
sure.
Yep,
yeah, I was gonna ask about that, so I'm glad you brought it. It's good.
Be about November, December is when we start the next.
Yeah.
Historically, I think everybody's been leery in the county historically about putting speed bumps, just because when
Thank
you
you,
go
Craig.
to plow snow and things like that. I don't know, I mean,
Maybe that's a question for
can
that.
you do it? Yeah, you have jurisdiction of the roads, do you want to do it? Again, I don't know if that's your best recourse. What would engineering firms, or, like the bridge firm or the road engineering firm say? I think you have the right to put a speed bump there.
we'll be having people ripping
Make,
propellers off
take
their boats.
multiple.
That'll give it a good bounce, maybe.
What's the
break more.
distance? You ever been there to see it? We
From,
may need to do multiple ones, is what I'm saying.
I mean, honestly, I think it's literally it's a scenario to where there's just when you go through there's a road once you go through Morrison, you go east, you can take a left, which shoots you down across a bridge on Bischoff, but then you go straight, and you get about halfway through there, and it just there's just houses all over the place, like right in that area. But I guess the other side of it is like, do you want to get into the habit, if you open up the precedent on doing it in one location, then how many other locations are you having to, you know,
Is that considered a subdivision back there?
probably.
If it is.
No, I don't
maybe
know.
The subdivision party, if we give them permission, they can do it.
Were we talking about the road that dead ends at Bischoff, goes west
Yeah.
from Morris?
Yeah.
There
You
might
go
be-
straight across the water, you can go hang out at Ron Decker's.
Need an amphibious
Yeah.
vehicle, or an airboat, or the hovercraft. On something like that, I don't think that's per se a subdivision. I mean, there may have been lots platted off in some wide and dedicated right-of-ways, but it's not like a private road. That's, if I'm not mistaken, guys, I think that's still a county road.
It is, yeah.
That the trucks plow and salt and cinder.
But Lee said like Batesville owns the ramp.
They may, because.
Isn't that what he said
because
earlier?
if you
I
look
thought
at,
so, yeah.
if you look at a GIS.
They own the lake, I
They
know
own the
that.
lake, and they own a certain portion of land that surrounds the lake, but they still have a right to access their lake or make it public access. The road upon which they go is county. So the road itself is under your jurisdiction, just not the land, nor is it your responsibility probably
Yep.
to do anything with the boat ramp. That would be the city of Batesville.
Right.
But historically, we've had people who have come in when other commissioners were in place here. They wanted a speed bump out on the road to slow traffic down and things like that. And historically, they were never too big on the idea of doing a speed bump, just because, I think mainly because of the snow plowing and stuff like that.
So maybe it's something we'll ask Jason next meeting.
Unless you do one of those more,
Yeah.
elongated ones where
If
they
you go the opposite way, go down. Make a sinkhole.
make it a
Go down instead
Probably
of.
already got them.
Why don't we, I got an idea. Why don't we just change a couple culverts out on that road and we'll solve the problem?
Yeah, just have a,
They settle when they settle.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
good lump.
Got anything else?
I do not.
Oh, wait, yeah, yes. Exhibit G, this is a remnant defendant, where there's apparently, I think, 6 other pharmaceutical companies. The amount that we're gonna receive from this is probably a token amount.
What is it?
It's what I forwarded on to you from Irwin Levin.
I probably have it, but.
I'll give it
For
to you,
the,
but it's gonna require
settlement.
Mark's signature with a vote to enter into this agreement. I need to get that back to Irwin Levin up
Yeah.
at the in the lab.
For our opioid
Regarding
settlement.
opioids.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see much out of that portion of it, but by signing that, it keeps us in the,
Look at that, he even filled it out for me. All I gotta do is sign it.
So
Look
we
at
need to
that.
vote on that?
yeah, to basically approve.
I'll make a
entering into
motion.
that agreement,
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
and then I'll let Amy have it, we'll make a copy. We can keep the original, Irwin just needs the.
I signed it in a blue pen, is that not good?
That's perfect, that says
Okay.
it's an original signature.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think just one signature.
Yep.
Yeah, but you were authorizing Mark to sign it on behalf.
Oh, is that what we just?
We get our drug money.
I didn't hear that in that
Your
motion.
drug money.
I didn't hear that.
We will probably see if we can take a walk up to the tower
Yep.
after the meeting. John, if you want to go with us?
I don't know if I'm up for that. or not.
Okay.
All right.
Amy?
But I
Do we have-
appreciate the offer.
Okay, other than that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. If you guys don't mind, I am gonna go fill out my paperwork upstairs real quick and I'll meet you.
Oh.